Xfinity, I fucking hate you so fucking much with a fucking passion. My God. How do I pay this much for Wi-Fi and you fucking cut out like 3 times a fucking week? That's actually aggravating. 15 minutes into a stream and I gotta end it. Well, not end it. It fucking ends itself. The stupid thing is with YouTube, when I try to reconnect to a stream, nope, you got fucking 45 seconds, which is not enough for the router to reset. And so we're here now. Now I have to fucking restart this fucking game because the fucking Wi-Fi decided to crap out. It's so aggravating. This is the only upsetting part of streaming. It's the fucking Wi-Fi. Which I think this is just gonna pick up where I left off, and it's gonna make zero sense to anybody that...
This is the story of a man named Stanley. Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley. Something he would never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk and stepped out of his office.
Should I do that option again? The stupid thing is that because I have to fucking restart,
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Stupid.
Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had
I
simply
didn't even
missed
get
a
to
memo.
know what happened, after. This is a stupid thing. So I'm gonna do the option I did again. Because I didn't really get to find out what
Stanley
happened.
came to a set of 2 open doors. This was not the correct
taking the
way
wrong
to
way.
the meeting room,
Yep.
and Stanley
Wrong
knew
way.
it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first,
What a
just to
terrible
admire
start
it.
to playing a fucking game. I can't
The
even
lounge
enjoy
was
it.
sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else
just wait
is
for your
difficult,
internet
but
and leave the
fact
game
is that
as
the
is.
story has been about nothing but you.
But
all
it's gonna
this
make no
time.
sense as a
There's someone
VOD,
you've
which
been
is where
neglecting,
majority of the
Stanley.
views come from.
Someone you've forgotten about.
So,
Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for
and by the
me,
way, when I hit
I'm
exit,
asking
it
for her.
fucking exited the full game. So,
This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life.
your mom.
She's been waiting.
Your mom?
That's her, Stanley.
Alright, and then we
You need
we
Oh,
messed
no,
with
no,
the plug.
No, you can't. Did you just unplug the phone? Now, that wasn't supposed to be a choice. How did you do that? You actually chose incorrectly? I didn't even know that was possible. Let me double check. No, it's definitely here, clear as day. Stanley picks up the phone. He's taken to his apartment where he finds his wife, and the two pledge themselves to one another. Music comes in, fade to white, roll credits. Not picking up the phone is actually somehow an incorrect course of action. How is that even possible? None of these decisions were supposed to mean anything. I don't understand. How on earth are you making meaningful choices? What did you...
Meaningful.
Wait a second. Did I just see... No, that's not possible. I can't believe it. How had I not noticed it sooner?
What happens
You're
if you
not
do
Stanley.
pick up the phone?
You're a real person. I can't believe I was so mistaken. This is why you've been able
What
to make
sounds
correct
good?
and incorrect choices. And to think I've been letting you run around in this game for so long. If you
Totino's
made any
pizza?
more wrong
You
choices,
mean
you might have negated
Tostino's
it entirely.
pizza
It's as though
rolls?
you completely ignored even the most basic safety protocol for real-world decision-making. Or
Corned
did you
beef
not
stew
grasp
sounds pretty
the
good,
severity
actually.
of the situation?
I'm
Well,
so
I won't
hungry
have
right
that
now
kind of
that I have
risk
to
on
make
my
some
watch.
popcorn before
I'm
I
going to stop the game for a moment so we can educate you
play.
properly on safe decision-making in the real world. Please observe this helpful instructional video.
instructional.
It's the best part of being a real person.
Yeah,
But if
women
used
don't get
incorrectly,
that.
can also be the most dangerous. For example, in this scenario, a hypothetical real person named Rupert has a choice. He could invent a machine that eliminates food shortages across the world to make life better for all people. Or he could spend years of hard work forgetting how to read. Which choice would you make? Remember that unlike here, the real world makes sense, and at no time should you make a choice that does not conform to rational logic. If you find yourself speaking with a person who does not make sense, in all likelihood, that person is not real. Allow the person to finish their thought, then provide an excuse why you cannot continue talking. Turn to a partner and practice saying, "My goodness, is it 4:30? I'm supposed to be having a back, sack, and crack." Excellent. Making choices on a regular basis is the best part to a healthy decision-making process.
He's fucking that
Most
alligator.
medical professionals recommend making at least 8 choices per day. Do you make more than 8? Less? And finally, if you begin to wonder if your choices are actually meaningful and whether you'll ever make a significant contribution to the world, just remember that in the vast infiniteness of space, your thoughts and problems are materially insignificant, and the feeling should subside. At this time, your instructor will guide you in an exercise to test and reinforce the material covered in this video.
Oh, we're taking a test.
Ah, welcome back.
Okay.
You may have noticed that this room has begun to deteriorate as a result of narrative contradiction. But not to worry.
You a
Now that
bulldog?
you're properly informed on good decision-making, we're going to revisit a choice you made just a few minutes ago and see what the correct thing to do would have been. This way, please.
Oh. Dude, I love Jack's Pizza. Pizza in general, fucking good. But sadly, is there a way I can cheese it? Like, close?
Now that we know your choices are meaningful, we can't have you jumping off the platform and dying.
I love
Imagine
fucking
the
pizza,
main
dude.
character dying senselessly
Specifically
halfway through
fucking
the story.
pizza.
That story would make
But,
no sense at all.
Dude,
we
all
just need to get you
pizzas,
home as
dude,
soon
Jack's
as possible
pizzas
before
are
the
like
narrative
at least
contradiction
$5.
gets any
I remember when
worse.
this shit used to be like a
Unfortunately,
couple cents.
It seems this place is not well equipped to deal with reality.
My reality. A2. Here. Nope. Pineapple on pizza is disgusting. If you do that, you should actually seek mental help because you should.
Almost there.
YouTube won't let
You'll
me.
take the door on the left, back to the correct ending, the story will have resolution once again, and you'll be home free in the real world.
A real world. What if I don't want to go?
Now remember, all you need to do is behave exactly as Stanley would. That
Okay.
means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure
End
you'll
it.
be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Jack's Pizza is fire.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back in the other direction. Perhaps we're not too
No.
late.
What do you mean? They're objects. What are they going to do? Who does one acquire? You mean how? Jack's Pizzas are relatively cheap flatbread pizzas. Literally, if you like thin crust, they're pretty fucking good. And then just go over and dollop them with shit. That's what I do. Do I have to go to the left? Or can I just sit here? Did the narrator give up on me? No, he'll... Uh-oh.
Oh, it's ruined. I can't believe, after everything we talked about, that my story, you've destroyed my work. Why? For what? What did you get out of that? What did you think was so special about seeing the game undone?
How the
Left here like
fuck
so
do I
much garbage.
jump?
Well, it's worthless now. And what am I supposed to do? Even if there were a way to continue, would it be worth it? To know that my story is now incorrect? How can I
Oh,
go
these
back
chairs
to
I
that?
can't walk through,
I
at
can't
least.
erase that knowledge. I'll have to live with it forever, reliving its impossibility forever.
it a
I
cup?
couldn't live that way. Is it better to shut the game down entirely? To willingly destroy all of my work?
I wish I could shut myself
The
down.
answer. What do I do? What do I do? What do I... No, I have to. I have to shut the game down. I have to. I have to.
Was that the shutdown of 87?
Oh, I'm here. I'm still here. Here in this pile of rubbish. With you. You, who thought you were so clever. Now look where we are. My entire game is destroyed. It was the only thing in the world that was mine, and you've run it into the ground.
We beat Stanley
What,
Parable.
did you think that would be funny? You just
Yeah.
had to see? Didn't
Yeah.
I impress upon you how important it was to be like Stanley? He actually knows how to do what I tell him to. He understands that if I say to do something, there's a damn good reason for it.
Hinky.
That thought hadn't even occurred to you, had it? That there's a world outside of you?
Nope.
You're a child.
Thank you.
Oh, my story. If you'd just gone through the door on the left, you would have seen it. There was a whole underground facility. You would have destroyed it and been victorious. It would have been so perfect. I worked so hard on it. I tried so hard to make... behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll
Gotta
be
be
fine.
responsible.
All right.
Take the door on the
When
left.
Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Yep. Let's do that.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first.
That's my bad.
I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
On his left. Yeah. Okay. Oh. I thought I was going to be able to just keep redoing this.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly,
What?
hurry back.
Why was it so delayed?
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine.
I'm trying. These are
when
hard.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by the toe. If he hollers, let him go. So obviously this one. What? Mr. Narrator Man? Is there a specific
No! Why did you do that? Quickly.
Am I supposed to walk on this corner and I'm just not hitting it?
Is behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine.
Yeah.
All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors,
He
entered the door on his left.
Door on his left. Yep. I don't know why. Maybe I'm really supposed to do it. Am I actually supposed to do it? I mean, at a certain point, I would think that the narrator would just go, he entered the door on his left, and would just, like, leave the fucking door on the right closed. But, You know who has really good pizza, though? If we're on this subject still in the chat.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly. Hurry.
Do I have to touch a specific point in the fucking...
Behave exactly as
Screaming
Stanley would.
Sicilian.
That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right.
Fire food.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
On his left.
No! Why did you do that?
That's
quickly.
bizarre.
Hurry.
It's triggered by a specific point.
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
It's like right.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly. Hurry.
Right.
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story
Responsibly.
first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Right here? Right here? Where is it? There's a specific point over here.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly.
It seems like
Hurry
it's
back.
slowly...
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story
Does it
first.
not change?
I'm quite sure you'll be up
I
to the
thought this
task.
game
Just follow my lead and you'll be
was
fine.
more,
All right.
intuitive than that.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Nah, it's gotta change. It's gotta change. For sure.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly. Hurry.
Right? Right? I'll do this
Behave
for a
exactly
solid
as
30
Stanley
minutes,
would.
bro. I do
that
not
means
care.
choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on
Wait,
his
what happens
left.
if I enter this door? Can I enter this door? Can I break the glass? The plant?
No! Why did you do that? Quickly. Hurry back.
Weird. There's other
behave
moments in the
exactly
game where
as
they
Stanley
close the
would.
door and don't
That
let you
means
go somewhere.
choosing
It's just in this
responsibly
segment that
and
you have to
always
choose
putting
the
story
right
first.
option.
I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task.
Oh,
Just
I
follow
gotcha.
my lead and you'll
All
be
right.
fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
We have to go for the right option here. That's what surgeon said.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
The right option.
Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
But I actually entered the door on my right. Where am I supposed to stand?
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly.
The door on
and
his
always
right.
putting the story first.
No!
I'm quite sure you'll
Why
be up
did
to
you
the
do that?
task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right.
I like the way he
When
says no.
Stanley came to a set of 2
goes,
open
"No."
doors, he entered the door on his left.
No, surgeon said the right door. Or the right option. That's what he said. In the
No!
chat.
Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back.
That's what he
Behave
said.
exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first. I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just follow my lead and you'll be fine. All right. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
Right. Yeah, it specifically triggered, his no is triggered by something on that line right there.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would.
You
that
told
means
me,
choosing
surgeon,
responsibly
to
and
go on
always putting the story
in the right
first.
option.
I'm quite sure you'll be up to the task. Just
The
follow my
right
lead and you'll be
option,
fine.
which means
All right.
this is the secret ending.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
On his right.
No! Why did you do that? Quickly, hurry back. Behave exactly as Stanley would. That means choosing responsibly and always putting the story first.
I put
I'm
quotes
quite sure
around
you'll be up to
right
the task.
because
Just
it's not
follow my
really
lead
the
and
right.
You'll be fine. All right.
Oh.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
So there's no secret ending if I go in this door? There's no secret ending? Nothing? Oh, this is the business meeting room.
Yet there was not a single person
Tips.
here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there.
How to solve a dispute with a coworker. Let it ball up inside you. Take it out passive aggressively on using slides to assure employees that everything is okay. Make sure your slide has a slick blue graphic in the header and throw some bevel on all the text. Oh, everyone is unique. You, most of all. Look at the affirmative action hires. No Asians. Okay. Rate at which charts on the same slide depict the same information. That one said sleep on it. Oh. Please, no more charts. Boss Appreciation Minute. On your Boss Appreciation Minute worksheet, circle the top 20 things you love most about your boss. Fill out in triplicate. Solving interpersonal conflict. If you ever find yourself in a conflict with another diligent employee like yourself, but more inclined. Whatever. I don't like reading anyways. Metamorphosis. Comatose is kind of nice. Tips for not getting fired. Talk less, do unbelievably amazing work all the time, every day, with no exception of promotion or recognition. Don't get fired. Alright, this said resent coworkers for not supporting you more. What does this say? What is hot? Okay. I wasn't listening to the narrator, actually, so... Termination Tuesdays? Wait. Who uses... Like, wouldn't you have the dates the other way? Like, wouldn't you have Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday on the... Well, I guess... This gay is too small. Oh, box. 8 bird office party. What to do about 432? Don't tell 432 about my meeting? Me meeting? Me meeting or my meeting? Pranking floor 5 meeting. Mergers. Not cost efficient. Standard graphs 40 times wide. Get Chris out of the broom closet. Oh. Okay. Chris is in here, isn't he? Well. All right.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Does it change? Oh. What the fuck? Oh, that's a piece of the wood. The beige pages? What does this say? I would like to jump so I can fucking read the text. What does this say? Business time. Are hostile takeovers the new biannual percentage? Agent 47 is a
Stepping
boss.
inside his manager's office, Stanley was once again
Business strategy, and
stunned
it's
to
him
discover
aiming a gun
no
at a
indication
panda?
of any human life. Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this, until he saw the door with a voice receiver next to it. Surely behind this door lay all the answers to his questions. And beyond all probability, he knew the passcode. He had seen it on his boss's computer just last week. Nightshark 115. Was this the code to open the door? Would it still work? There was only one way to find out. Stanley had been trained never to speak up, but now he would draw from within himself the courage to face the unknown.
Is there voice recognition for this?
He drew a sharp breath and then spoke the code.
Fuck your mother. Fuck your mother. That's the code, right? Shark
Stanley spoke the
115?
code. Night Shark 115. He spoke it into the receiver, right there on the wall.
Shark 115? There's no way they have... No, right? No, they don't. No, they don't. No, they don't. Auto walk is to the right. Right click.
I'm sorry, is there a problem? You didn't mishear me, did you?
I can't-
Please speak the code into the receiver. Otherwise, we
Dude,
can't
I'm
get on
fucking
with the
trying.
story. This is a crucial step. Okay, fine, you're not gonna do it, but you know what? It's pretty humiliating to bring you this far, only for you to suddenly decide you have better things to do. I asked you for this one single thing, for your respect. the kind of respect Stanley shows for his choices. He knows what it means to take a story seriously. If you didn't want to see what I had to show you, then why did you come here? You had a choice, you know. You could have gone through the door on the right. You could have done whatever the hell you wanted over there. Why did you come this way? Speak. Say something to me. Explain yourself, you coward. You coward.
Ooh.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
No, enter the door on the right. Do it, bitch.
Stanley? Hello? Are you... Is everything okay?
Can I jump off?
Stanley, please. I need you to make a choice. I need you to walk through the door. Are you listening to me? Can you hear me? Is everything all right?
That was an ending right there.
Stanley, this is important. The story needs you. It needs you to make a decision. It cannot exist without you. Do you understand me? Whatever choice you make is just fine. They're both correct. You cannot be wrong here. We can work together. I'll accept.
I think that
whatever
might just be
do.
you,
I simply
Death.
need
I
you
haven't
to
dropped
take
any
that step
frames yet.
forward, please. Choose. Do something. Anything.
Yeah,
This
make
is
that
more
ass shake.
important than you can ever know. I need this. The story needs it.
Nah.
So, you hear me? Are you there? Are you listening to this? Stanley, are you there? Okay. It's okay, I can wait. You need time to decide. Time to make sure your choice is correct. That is the best choice.
Wait, so if I didn't move,
All right?
would he have
For you to decide
sorry,
what's
Leroy?
the right thing to do. Take as much time as you need.
Oh, okay. I was gonna say the end credits kind of. All right. Walk through the chair.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Yep.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room. And
If I
Stanley knew
do
it
this
perfectly
again,
well.
right?
Perhaps he wanted to stop by the
But I
employee
go through
lounge
this
first,
door.
just to admire it. Standing now in this incredible room, Stanley but eager to get back to business, Stanley took the
If I go
first
through
open
this
door
door.
on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
What's here?
But Stanley didn't want to go back to the office. He wanted to wander about and get even further off track. So now in order to get back, he
left or
needed to
right?
go, from here it's,
Right.
left.
Oh.
Oh, no, it's to the right, my mistake.
I knew it, see?
No, not the right. Why would I have ever said it was to the right? What was I thinking? It's clearly... Oh dear, would you hold on for a minute, please?
Uh-huh.
Now, let's see. We went down right, left, down, left, right.
Yep.
Yep, okay, yes. I've got it now.
It is
this
to the
story
left.
is absolutely, definitely this way.
All right.
No. This isn't right at all. You're not supposed to be here yet. This is all a spoiler. Quick, Stanley, close your eyes. Okay. We just
Oh,
have to
they
get
got
back to,
fired, dude.
Who am I kidding? It's all rubbish now. The whole story completely unusable. How about, rather than waste my time trying to salvage this nonsense, we'll just restart the game from the beginning. And this time, suppose we don't wander so far off track, Okay, from the top. All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to
grab
go
a
to the
drink
meeting
real
room.
quick.
Perhaps he
Another-
had simply missed a memo.
Other drink. back. I'm back, don't worry. Okay. So does he say that if...
When Stanley... Wait.
Oh.
What? No, I restarted. I swear, I definitely restarted the game over, completely fresh. Everything should be... Oh, did something change? Stanley, did you change anything when we were back in that room with all the monitors? Did you move the story somewhere, or... Hold on. Why am I asking you? I'm the one who wrote the story.
I want to go
It was
here.
right here just a minute ago. I know for sure that it's here somewhere. Okay, then. It's an adventure. Come, Stanley. Let's find the story.
So these go the same way. Those are still the same paths. I want to go that way. Okay. Everyone knows what you did. They're just holding back to let you torture yourself. Oh, so true.
I'll say it. This is the worst adventure I've ever been on. I can promise you there definitely was a story here before. Do we need to restart the game again? Well, I find it unlikely that we'll ever progress by starting over and over again, but it's got to be better than this. Okay, let's give it a shot. Why not?
No, I wanted to...
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Okay. No choices
Okay,
this time.
It's worse. I might be remembering this wrong. It's possible the story is back where we just came from. Why don't we go back the other direction and see if we missed anything?
No. Is there a secret wall? Invisible wall? Invisible door, maybe? But I don't want to go back. I can't even interact with the... Why can't I interact with these? Okay.
Aha! I knew we'd missed something. The story. Here it comes. No, wait, never mind. Not the story. Okay, let's head back the other way and retrace our steps.
Yeah. Ooh.
Now this... Well, I'll be honest, I don't recognize this place at all. Is this the story? I don't think so. I can't quite recall, but I believe my story took place in an office building. Is that correct? Do you remember, Stanley?
I don't remember shit,
Well, do you
man.
know what? Since I've completely forgotten what we were supposed to be doing, how about this? You win! Congratulations!
We won.
I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job.
Thanks, man.
Oh, no. No, I don't feel right about this at all.
I do.
We both know
I
you
won.
didn't put in any actual work for that win. Some people win fair and square, and this was not one of those situations.
Go back. Don't
I'm
go
getting
forward.
weirded out by whatever this place is. I don't care what might happen this time. I have to restart.
I won, though.
All right, I've got a solution.
Adventure
This time, to
line.
make sure we don't get lost, I've employed the help of the Stanley Parable Adventure Line. Just follow the line. How simple is that?
But I don't want to follow the line now. It's going the wrong way. But I also want to know what's there. No. What's this way then?
No, I'm down. We're leaving it up to the line from now on.
Oh. Oh, like. Coffee thing is spilled. Do any of the doors open up? Okay. Does this one open up? This one? The weed room? No, no. No.
You see? The line knows where the story is. It's over in this direction. Onward, Stanley, to destiny. Though, here's a thought. Wouldn't wherever we end up be our destination, even if there's no story there? Or to put it another way, is the story of no destination still a story? Simply by the act of moving forward, are we implying a journey such that a destination is inevitably conjured into being via the very manifestation of the nature of life itself? Okay, Stanley, I need to follow this train of thought for a minute. Just stick with me.
Okay.
Now, we can both agree that the nature of existence is in fact a byproduct of one's subjective experience of that existence, right? Okay, now if my experience of your existence rests inside of your subjective experience of this office, is this office in fact the skeleton of my own relative experiential mental subjective construct? Whoa. Hang on. That got a bit weird back there. Well, I'd like to apologize. Not sure where I was going with all that.
Me neither, man.
You know what? I think what we need right now is a bit of music to lighten the mood.
Oh, that's... Yes. Turn it off, never mind. So if I just... That shit is loud as fuck. Okay, you can turn it off. No, I'll play the game. I'll play the game if you turn that off. Why is the music so loud? Okay, that's more tolerable. I'm fine with that. Damn, you got rid of all the options, man. Oh, we're on floor 0. The adventure line. This way, then this way. Stanley Twinkable. Stanky Gayable. What's this way then? Damn. You bitches. Why you won't let me go back? Okay. What the fuck? Well, which way should I go, dude? Okay, I see 2 chairs and a box. Is that the same as this? There's a printer, a bunch of filing cabinets, a chair on the right. It is the same. Wait, that's me, right? No, it's not. What number am I? Okay, you know what? I
Wait,
thought I would like
cut the music.
Okay.
Go back and look at that fern.
The fern?
Stanley, This fern will be very important later in the story. Make sure you study it closely and remember it carefully. You won't want to miss anything.
I like how it asked me for the time before I played this game. And the clocks aren't right anyways. I vote for this being the new theme song to Vernon's channel. Is that it? You cut the music for a fern? Whoop, 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 whoop.
Wait, what? We're back at the office? No.
Oh,
no,
this is
no.
where I wanted to go in the first place.
You do know we're looking for the Stanley parable, right? The story? Is any of this ringing a bell? Oh, no, not again. Line, how could you have done this to us? And after we trusted you, after everything we've been through, you... Oh, I can't take this anymore. To hell with it.
Yeah, maybe we
Restart.
need to get down there. Oh.
You know what, Stanley? I say
Okay.
forget the adventure line. What's it ever done for us? We're intelligent people,
Yeah.
right? Why
Yeah.
can't we make up our
Fuck
own
the story.
Something
Yeah.
exciting, daring, mysterious. Ooh, this all sounds perfectly doable. Why don't we simply start wandering in, well, I don't know. How about this direction?
Okay. I'm down for this. Yeah.
Now, yes, this is exciting. Just me and Stanley forging a new path, a new story. Well, it could be anything. What do you want our story to be? Go wild. Use your imagination.
We rescue
Whatever it might
Hitler.
be, Stanley, I'm ready for it. Oh, no, not you again. Stanley, I'd also like to veto the line from having any role in our awesome new story. No lines or monitor rooms. Just don't acknowledge it, and we should be fine.
So don't follow it, or? Oh, yeah. All right.
Ah, a choice. We get to make a decision. From here, the story is in our control. How important we mustn't
Make a story
squander the
with big titty
opportunity.
bitches?
In fact, I believe I need a minute to think here. Just walk in circles for a minute. Okay, so I know that each door has to lead somewhere, which means that somewhere, the place where we're trying to go, there must be a reverse door that leads here. And that in turn means that our destination corresponds with the counter-inverted reverse door's origin.
So go back.
So starting from the right, let us ask, will taking the right door lead us to where we're going? And since the answer is clearly yes, then by all accounts, the door on the right is the correct one. Another victory
Unless-
for logic. Come, Stanley, our destiny awaits.
Well, what if I wanted the door on the left? Wait, Stanley attempts to play the story, but... Ooh! I want to try 8 restart. Yeah, let's... Can we do that? Has it actually been keeping track? I feel like I've been playing longer than that. Oh, they go to the same place regardless.
Hold up, what's this? The confusion ending. You're telling me that's what this is? It's all one giant ending? And we're supposed to restart the game, what, eight times?
Yeah. Let's
That's
do
really
it.
how all this goes?
How many times have I restarted?
Determined? So now, according to the
Gotta say,
schedule,
come
I
across your
restart
channel
again.
and opening
Then
your
what?
stream.
Am I
Was
just
not
supposed to
prepared hear,
forget?
we rescue Hitler
Well, what if I
immediately.
don't want to
Wolf.
forget? My mind goes blank simply because it's written here on this thing, wall. Well, who consulted me? Why don't I get to decide?
I feel like
I
we've
know
been
I
playing
get a say in all of this.
the confusion
Is it really?
ending longer than that,
No,
but
it can't be. I don't want it to be. I don't want the game to keep restarting. I don't want to forget what's
I
going
do.
on.
I'm fine with
I
that.
don't want to be trapped like this. I won't restart the game. I won't do it. I won't do it. I won't do it. And the timer stopped? Does that mean, did we do it? Did we break the cycle?
But I wanted that.
Whatever it is that made this schedule, how would we even know? Will someone come for us? Will something happen? So, okay. I guess now we just wait. You know,
Fap into the
I
light.
suppose in some way that this is a kind of story. Wouldn't you agree? I'm not quite sure if we're in the destination or the journey, though they're always saying that life is about the journey and not the destination. So I hope that's where we are right now. We'll find out, won't we? Eventually.
I mean, I
in
guess.
the meantime, if you...
Narrator?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
I'm taking the door on the right.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Stanley felt lightheaded, butterflies in his stomach, giddy in a way he had never known before. Was it this room? A connection between the two? But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance
God
section,
damn it, Shooter.
walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Okay.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up
It
to his...
opened.
Stanley stepped into the broom closet, but there was nothing here.
I
he
like the
turned
broom
around
closet.
and got back on track.
Nope. I like the broom closet. There's tons of activities to do here. We can play with a wrench.
There was nothing here.
Duct tape,
No choice to make.
pliers,
no path to follow. Just
a
an
wrench.
empty broom closet. No reason to still be here.
Looks like some more pliers up there, maybe.
It was baffling that Stanley was still just sitting in the
I like
broom
this story.
closet. He wasn't even doing anything. At least if there was something to interact with, he'd be justified in some way. As it is, he's literally just standing there doing sweet FA.
Oh, fuck all. I get it. Can I play with the broom or the duct
Really
tape?
still in the broom closet? Standing around doing nothing?
Well,
Why?
I mean, I
Please
crouched
offer
a
me
little
some
bit.
explanation here. I'm genuinely confused.
I like it here.
You do realize there's no choice or anything in here, right? If I'd said Stanley walked past the broom closet, at least you would have had a reason for exploring it to find out. But it didn't even occur to me because literally this closet is of absolutely no significance to the story whatsoever. I never would have thought to mention it. Maybe to you this is somehow its own branching path. Maybe when you go talk about this with your friend, you'll say, "Oh, did you get the broom closet ending? The broom closet ending was my favorite." I hope your friends find this concerning.
It's true.
Stanley was fat and ugly and really, really stupid. He probably only got the job because of a family connection. That's how stupid he is. That or with drug money. Also, Stanley is addicted to drugs and hookers.
Aren't we all? Look at this door, though.
Well, I've come to a very definite conclusion about what's going on right now. You're dead. You got to this broom closet, explored it a bit, and were just about to leave because there's nothing here, when a physical malady of some sort shut down your central nervous system and you collapsed on the keyboard.
No,
Well, in a
I'm
situation
still on the
like this,
keyboard.
The responsible thing is to alert someone nearby so as to ensure that your body is taken care of before it begins to decompose. Hello? Anyone who happens to be nearby? The person at this computer is dead. they have fallen prey to any number of your countless human physiological vulnerabilities. It's indicative of the long-term sustainability of your species.
No, I'm not
Please
dead, man.
remove their corpse from the area and instruct another human to take their place, making sure they understand basic first-person video game mechanics and filling them in on the history of narrative tropes in video gaming, so that the irony and insightful commentary of this game is not lost on them. All right, when you've done that, just step out into the hallway.
No, you can't tell me what to do. Does anything actually happen here, or am I just fucking with this door for no reason? I mean...
Ah, second player. It's good to... You too? Unbelievable. I'm at the mercy of an entire species of invalids. Perhaps there's a monkey nearby you can hand controls to. A fish? Fungus? Look, you can hammer out the details. I'm not particularly picky. I'll just be waiting for when you're ready to pick up the story again.
Closet? I'm not a closet Jew, man. The fuck? I'm in? Did I... Is that it? Is that all you have to say about the broom closet?
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, I can go downstairs now. Ooh, a red light. What does that say? Hi. Dude, I can't even... This is first period and... Left it in your locker on the way to... something. I can't really discern what that actually says. It looks like somebody responded to them, though. Yeah, I'm not sure, but there's a bicycle kitty, so...
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during
Somebody
work
left
hours.
their
He might be fired for that. And in
car
such a
open.
competitive economy, why had he taken
With
that
the brake
risk?
lights on,
All
so
because
clearly
he
somebody's
believed
inside.
everyone had vanished. His boss would think he was crazy. And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense.
Oh.
And as Stanley pondered this, he began to make other strange observations. For example, why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down?
That's a
Why
good
did
question.
doors close automatically behind him wherever he went? And for that matter, these rooms were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled. This is all a dream. Oh, what a relief Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers weren't actually gone. He wasn't going to lose his job. He wasn't crazy after all. And he thought to himself, I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground.
Exit 8?
Then
Whoa.
he imagined himself soaring through space on a magical starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still
Can I
not
float?
woken up. How was he
Wait, I wanna
remaining so
float.
lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking? Now the voice was describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's describing my thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be?
How could
Was
it be?
Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself? Stanley is as awake right now as he's ever been in his life. Now, hearing the voice speak these words was quite a shock to Stanley. After all, he knew for certain, beyond a doubt, that this was in fact a dream. Did the voice not see him float and make the magical stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too. Surely, if he could just... He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a dream. So he closed his eyes gently,
No.
and he invited
No, I
himself to
didn't.
wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself.
Oh, you can see
I'm
stuff
through
blinking
with
in the
this
corner of the
dream.
screen just a
I
little bit.
wish it to be over. Let me go back to my job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please, it's all I want. I want my apartment
Oh,
and my
you
wife
see little glimmers.
and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been. My life is normal. I am normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
I can still hear myself walking. I'm not okay.
Stanley began
I'm
screaming.
great.
Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley.
No.
I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just someone tell me I am real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am I? Who am I? And everything went black.
What? No, it didn't.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
If we don't take place in a
Mariella
kitchen,
woke
this
up on
isn't
a day
lore
like any
accurate.
other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her walk was interrupted by the body of a man who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself, and then collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy, this much she knew. Everyone knows what crazy people look like. And in that moment, she thought to herself how lucky she was
Stanley
to be
transitioned.
normal. I am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way, seeing this man made her feel better. But then she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day. The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
"427 is us." Oh.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left.
But do I want to enter the door on the left? No.
This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was grand, majestic, perhaps too majestic, like a combination of a much smaller version and a much larger version of this exact room. It all made Stanley uncomfortable, and he started to bleed a little. This made him smile. At last, proof that he was human.
Bleed a little?
But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
What's this way? Did I already try this way? Oh. I can't interact with that door.
Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Oh no, not
I like the closet.
I'm not going to encourage you. I'm not going to say anything at all.
But you already have.
I'm just going to be patient and wait for you to finish whatever it is you enjoy doing so much in this room. Please take your time.
Can I just sit here forever? Okay.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
No! Ah, you bitch. No. Is the letter still there? It is.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss.
Oh, is it the same?
He had left his post during work hours.
There's no way it
he
could be
might
the same.
Fired for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished? His boss would think he was crazy.
It is the same.
And then something occurred to Stanley. Maybe, he thought to himself, maybe I am crazy. All of my co-workers blinking mysteriously out of existence in a single moment for no reason at all. None of it made any logical sense. And as Stanley
imagine some
this,
bitches.
he began to make
Why don't you
other
shoot her?
strange observations.
You
For
Aussie
example,
cunt.
why couldn't he see his feet when he looked down? Why did doors close automatically behind him wherever he went?
No,
and for that
let's just
matter,
begin the
these
game
rooms
again.
were starting to look pretty familiar. Were they simply repeating? No, Stanley said to himself, this is all too strange. This can't be real. And at last, he came to the conclusion that had been on the tip of his tongue. He just hadn't found the words for it. I'm dreaming, he yelled.
Fuck.
This is all a dream.
It is the same spiel
What a
as
relief
earlier.
Stanley felt to have finally found an answer, an explanation. His co-workers were
Maybe if I
actually
go to the
gone.
boss's office.
He wasn't going to lose his job.
But then,
He
if there's a
wasn't crazy
spin-off
after all.
door, I go
He
through
thought to
that
himself,
instead.
I suppose I'll wake up soon. I'll have to go back to my boring real-life job pushing buttons. I may as well enjoy this while I'm still lucid. So, he imagined himself flying and began to gently float above the ground. Then he imagined himself
Get on the car.
soaring through space on
You
a
little
magical
bitch.
starfield, and it too appeared. It was so much fun, and Stanley marveled that he had still not woken up. How was he remaining so lucid? And then perhaps the strangest question of them all entered Stanley's head. One he was amazed he hadn't asked himself sooner. Why is there a voice in my head dictating everything that I'm doing and thinking?
Is there an alternate
Now the
door,
voice was
maybe?
describing itself being considered by Stanley, who found it particularly strange. I'm dreaming about a voice describing me, thinking about how it's
Coffee
describing my
nut.
thoughts, he thought. And while he thought it all very odd and wondered if this voice spoke to all people in their dreams, the truth was that, of course, this was not a dream. How could it be? Was Stanley simply deceiving himself, believing that if he's asleep, he doesn't have to take responsibility for himself?
I'm going
Stanley
in that
is
broom
as awake
closet again,
right
and no
now
one can stop
as
me.
he's ever been in his life.
According to Google,
Now, hearing
AI...
the voice speak these words was quite a
No,
shock to
in Stanley
Stanley.
Parable, selecting
After
the
all,
begin game
he knew
again
for
does
certain,
not
beyond
start
a
the
doubt,
game
that
completely
this was, in fact,
fresh.
a dream. Did the voice not
Do
see
I
him
trust
flow to
Google
make the
AI,
magical
though?
stars just a moment ago? How else would the voice explain all that? This voice was a part of himself too, surely.
I mean, he's
surely,
already
if
halfway
he could
through the
just...
spiel, so...
He would prove it. He would prove that he was in control, that this was a
No.
dream. So he closed his eyes gently, and he invited himself to wake up. He felt the cool weight of the blanket on his skin, the press of the mattress on his back, the fresh air of a world outside this one. Let me wake up, he thought to himself. I'm through with
And a
this
Reddit
dream.
thread.
I wish it to be over.
According to
Let me
Google,
go
you're
back to my
gay.
job. Let me continue pushing the buttons. Please. It's all I want. I want
Play
my
golf with
apartment
friends.
and my wife and my job. All I want is my life exactly the way it's always been.
Definitely should
My
play golf
life
with
is
friends again.
normal.
It's a good
I am
game.
normal. Everything will be fine. I am okay.
Nope.
Stanley began screaming.
Ah.
Please, someone, wake me up. My name is Stanley. I have a boss. I have an office. I am real. Please, just
I
someone tell
am
me I'm
real.
real. I must be real. I must be. Can anyone hear my voice? Who am
Nope.
I? Who am I? And everything went black.
Sonic the Huge Cock. Alright.
This is the story of a woman named Mariella.
Oh, we gotta sit through this shit.
Mariella woke up on a day like any other. She arose, got dressed, gathered her belongings, and walked to her place of work. But on this particular day, her
Wake
walk was
me up
interrupted by the
inside.
body
I
of a
can't
man
wake up.
who had stumbled through town talking and screaming to himself,
Save
and then
me.
collapsed dead on the sidewalk. And although she would soon turn to go call for an ambulance, for just a few brief moments she considered the strange man. He was obviously crazy. This much she knew.
Crazy?
Everyone knows what
I was
crazy
crazy
people
once.
look like. And in that moment, she thought
They
to
locked me in
herself how
Stanley
lucky she
Parable,
was to
and
be
Stanley
normal.
Parable makes me
I
crazy.
am sane. I am in control of my mind. I know what is real and what isn't. It was comforting to think this, and in a certain way,
It's crazy
seeing
how you
this
have a
man made
shitload
her
of the
feel
game
better.
left.
Then
Really?
she remembered the meeting she had scheduled for that day.
Really?
The very important people whose impressions of her would affect her career, and by extension, the rest of her life. She had no time for this, so it was only a moment that she stood there, staring down at the body. And then she turned and ran.
Yacht? Look at his arch? Alright.
All of his
Fine.
co-workers were gone. What could it mean?
Employee
Stanley
database.
decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Did I just hit an invisible wall? Oh, wait. Knowing your city. Before you can possibly know where to begin your new street vending operation, you first have to get to know your city. I'll use Georgetown as an example in this book, but in order to readily get the knowledge, it's best to explore. It's best to go explore. That's what it says. Awaiting input? Wait. Wait, I want to do that. Yeah. Who farted? Can I do this? What is that? What is that? Does that affect it? Does that affect it? Input received. Okay.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door.
Awaiting
on his
input
left.
is a tattoo John's mom got above her pussy. No. Is it now? Okay.
This
so
was
let's
not the correct way to the meeting room.
let's go
and
this
Stanley
way.
knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. And here it was, the lounge. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track.
Yeah, it was this way. Yeah, because then we
Yet
went
there was
in
not
here,
a single person here
and then
either.
the broom
Feeling a wave of
closet.
disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his
You
boss's
dirty little
office,
bitch.
hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Oh, executive bathroom. Money in the morning, money in the evening, money for breakfast, money. Or if you get rid of the EY there, the moon. Crisp. Extreme bathrooms. I can't read what that says because you won't let me jump. Whatever. Can I flush the toilet? Nope. Can I wash my hands? Nope. Drink this? Nope. The mirror doesn't even work. The moon. Panda. Ooh, elevator. Wait, I want to go. Should I go up or down? The moon is up. So let's go up. Hey. Damn, you guys just got muted for 300 seconds. That's wild. Hi, how's it going? What happened? There's a running joke with them. They like saying the moon, and now they got muted. Do 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 do. Why is there like a dude actually? Is that the narrator? Recommendations from the Oversight Committee. This one says a short history of the relevant says. I don't know what that says. How long does this shit take? I beg your pardon? Why is it like... Like it's like through the right? And now it's through the left? Now it's like kind of through both. Why did you make an account called Belle Delphine? I know damn well you just created this too, didn't you? You just created that. Obviously, the elevator is moving because it's shaking right now. Is it actually not? No, this is where I was. Okay, maybe you were right. This is the same exact fucking floor. You goddamn piece of shit. Well, this is different.
Stepping into his
Can I play
manager's
the piano?
office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life.
Oh, so now I can...
Shocked, unraveled, Stanley wondered in disbelief who orchestrated this. What dark secret was being held from him? What he could not have known was that the keypad behind the
Ooh.
boss's desk guarded the terrible truth that his boss had been
Chianti?
keeping from him. And so the
From
boss had assigned it
2003.
an extra secret PIN number.
At the time of this game, that's like a 19,
2845.
20-year-old
But
wine.
of course, Stanley couldn't
Can I drink
possibly
it?
have known this.
Obviously, I know the code.
Stanley just sat around
What?
twiddling his thumbs. Trying to input anything on the device was useless,
All right,
since he
let's-
could never possibly know that the combination was 2845. Two, 8, 4, 5.
We'll get there eventually, guys. We'll figure out this code. Yeah.
Forgot,
Okay.
but it turns out that the panel's emergency override kicked in, and the door just opened all by itself. And Stanley got the hell along with the story. Well, whoop-de-doo.
Okay, so we know it's... Okay. Okay. Not that one. Oh, whoops. We already tried that one. I can't see the keypad anymore, so... Oh wait, we already tried that one. Okay. We'll get there eventually, guys. They can't tell me how to play this game. Nope. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Oh, nope, nope, 2, nope. There we go. Nope. Nope, not it. Not it. Oops. Did I try those yet? I don't remember. I feel like I tried. Ah. All right, so 0, 0, 3, 0. What was even the code anymore? I don't even remember what the actual code was. 2985 2985. Was it 2895? I don't even remember what the original code was. All right. I figured he was gonna make fun of me or something. Ooh, creepy. There's nothing here. Just the... Is there a door maybe? No, no door. Hmm. 2845. Oh.
Descending deeper
was
into
close.
the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why
Damn
did he
right.
feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Escape. Yeah, let's escape.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley would meet his violent death.
Ooh. Promise? How violent are we talking?
The door behind him was not shut. Stanley still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track.
Nah,
At this point,
Truman Show.
Stanley was making a
Truman
conscious,
Show.
concerted effort to walk forward and willingly confront his death.
Ooh. Boop. Oh.
As the machine whirred into motion and Stanley was inched closer and closer to his demise, he reflected that his life had been of no consequence whatsoever.
Oh, I
Stanley
can't walk off
see
the edge.
bigger picture. He doesn't know the real story, trapped forever in his narrow vision of what this world is. Perhaps his death was of no great loss, like plucking the eyeballs from a blind man. And so he resigned and willingly accepted this violent end to his brief and shallow life. Farewell, Stanley.
Okay, bye-bye.
"Farewell, Stanley," cried the narrator, as Stanley was led helplessly into the enormous metal jaws.
Bring the man
In a
back.
single visceral instant, Stanley was obliterated as the machine crushed every bone in his body, killing him instantly.
Did we do it? Did I leave?
And yet it would be just a few minutes before Stanley would restart the game, back in his office, as alive as ever. What exactly did the narrator think he was going to accomplish?
What? Whoops.
When every path you can
Ooh.
walk has been created for you long in advance, death becomes meaningless, making life the same.
So that's
Do
where
you
we
see
start.
now? Do you see that Stanley was already dead from the moment he hit start?
Oh. Center of the two doors was the very first concrete piece of Stanley Parable's design. Once this room was created, the rest of the game emerged as an extension of it, an exploration of the contradiction this room posed. Filing cabinets. Okay. Nature paintings. What about the panda painting? Who made that shit? I can't interact with those doors. Button sounds, a selection of the sounds used throughout the game when buttons are pressed. Each sound is a mix of a keyboard stroke and a synthesized tone. I like number 2 the most. Kind of nice. Credit. We like credit. What's this way? Maintenance room. An early version of the maintenance room. Whoa, money? You can get money in this game? Warzone, early in development, we designed an ending where Stanley would end up on a battlefield fighting aliens. The action game would become sentient and would wage war against the narrator. We realized shortly after starting to build that it was far too jokey and on the nose for the tone in the game. Plus, some people interpreted it as making fun of people who like shooters, which was not our intention. That actually would have been pretty sick, not gonna lie. Yeah, early version. Are you a rock? Oh, what the fuck? Triple 12800. Well, the thing I want to know is, what would you do if Stanley entered any other room? Okay. Okay, whatever. Narrator emails. After the second trailer, we sent out... After the second trailer, we asked people to email the narrator for questions. While we had initially planned to use these further promotional materials, we never found the perfect use for them. Here are the selection of those emails. Okay. That's someone's actual email. Okay. The Lounge, an early version of The Lounge. Cargo lift. Oh. The apartment timer. In a previous version of the choice leading to the apartment ending, a timer would give you 15 seconds to pick up the phone. Not picking up the phone would lead to a different ending. Interesting. Ooh, switches. I can't pull them. Zending levers. These levers were originally a part of the Zending. The player would pull a lever and the narrator would describe what color they had pulled. Interesting. Okay. Zending models. The Zending went through many iterations. This room represents the 4th version of the ending. We thought it was complete, but decided to abandon and change it again shortly before launch. Okay. What the fuck is that? Put it back. Countdown desk. One of the desks from an early version of the countdown ending. Ooh. Oh. There's so many places to go. Stanley's office from left to right, the evolution of Stanley's office over time. Oh, interesting. Okay. What is down here? There's no sprint, so I just gotta walk there. Boss's office. Office clock. Okay. The lounge. Underground, an early version of the underground portion of the game. Narration outtakes. Kevin Brighting, the voice
Stanley stood on the roof. Stanley stood on the snow.
The voice of the narrator recorded dialogue for the entire game, roughly 3 separate...
There. Shoot. Well, try the other one then.
3 separate times over the 2 years of development.
Stanley pushed the number 6.
These are
Stanley pushed the orange lever. Stanley walked over the bridge. Stanley stood on the snow. When Stanley came to the lift, he traveled upward to the power source at the top of the facility to end this injustice. Stanley walked over the bridge.
These are
Still nothing? I don't know. Well, in that case, I'll tell you what. You win. Congratulations. You did it. I know you put in a lot of hard work, and it really paid off, so good job.
Thanks, man. These are clips from early takes that were not used in the final game.
What do we do now? I don't... Stanley, where are you right now? Stanley jumped. Where am I? I'm trying to figure out, but I can't... Stanley, who am I? Can you speak to me? Please talk. Have we done this before? Have we been in this room before? How many times have we done this? How many times have I said these exact words? Say something.
I don't know.
Anything. Help me, Stanley. I don't know who what I... Stanley, help. Don't... Number 9.
Well, what? Yes?
Then he pushed the number 4.
The number 4.
Now look closely. How it's impossible for the player to do anything in this room. Perfect example of poor level design. Textbook mistake. It's the kind of thing you'd pick up on intuitively if you had even the most fundamental understanding of good and bad game design. But of course, you being you, you'll probably spend the next hour trying to solve it. Here, I'm just going to make this easy on you.
I thought he was going to tell me the answer. Man.
Stanley pushed the orange lever.
If I leave, are you going to talk?
Let's see. Stanley walked through the green door. Stanley stood on the roof.
You going to talk again?
And finally, he pushed the number 9. Nothing there. Shoot. Well, try the other one then.
Is he going to talk again?
Where were all of his co-workers? Oh, I don't know. How about they're throwing a surprise party for him for all his button pushing? Does that sound plausible to you? Stanley jumped in the river.
No?
When Stanley came to the lift, he traveled upward.
Okay. So the game isn't over? Oh, wait. Up the stairs, up the stairs. So, yeah, this way.
Oh, look at these two. How they wish to destroy one another. How they wish to control one another. How they both wish to be free. Can you see? Can you see how much they need one another?
No.
No, perhaps not. Sometimes these things cannot be seen. But listen to me. You can still save those two. You can stop the program before they both fail. Push escape and press quit. There's no other way to beat this game. As long as you move forward, you'll be walking someone else's path. Stop now and it'll be your only true choice. Whatever you do, choose it. Don't let time choose for you.
No.
Don't let
I don't feel like it. Guess who's
All
back?
his co-workers were... Wait, no. This isn't the right office, is it? Is this Stanley's office?
What are you fucking talking about, dude? What are you talking about? Wait, I missed it. What? Oh, we gotta do it each time. I see, I see. I know how it's done.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps
fine.
he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. It was okay. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took
It
the
was
first
okay.
open door on his left. And so he detoured through the maintenance section, walked straight ahead to the opposite door, and got back on track. Yet there was not a single person here either. Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Fuck. This is still open? I think I just got the same exact fucking...
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. What could it mean? Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
Nope.
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Nah, not a fan. This is New Age? Makes me feel like I'm in the 2000s. On hold.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Is there something here now? Damn, nothing there. Softcore porn music. I mean, could be. Alright. So this time we'll go to the mind control room.
Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
Hello. Okay. I can't jump off.
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television
Oh my goodness,
screens.
we've never been here
What horrible
before.
secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to
Did he?
find out?
Last time there was a walkway, wasn't there? Or... just a bunch of... numbers. Employee observation protocol. 2C, if despite adherence to protocol 2A and protocol 2B, an employee leaves the office during work hours and a system loop has failed, you must terminate. 2D, please note that employee 432 is a test case, while the need for procedure 2A to 2C need not apply. In the event of 432 attempting to leave the office, contact supervisor and then contact 432 prize pool. 3A, if monitoring screen fails to initialize, contact maintenance and temporarily switch control over to desk screen. 4A, in the case of a class 4 event, close system gates and consult with supervisor. 4B, in the case of class 3 event, close system gates and consult with supervisor. Prime your consoles for info dump. That all says the same thing. That says the same thing.
Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers. The lives of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant
We were at
nothing.
247, right? Or was it 347? I don't remember. It just shows filing cabinets. Pretty sure we were 247. What is that?
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this
control
time?
facilities where
was
you
this
get
the only
COVID
reason
shots?
he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
Yep.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His
Okay.
own life in someone else's control.
employee pirate.
Never. It was unthinkable.
there's a pirate?
Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
Oh,
But here was the proof. The heart of the operation.
Mind control
Controls
status.
labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life. For
Okay.
he would dismantle the controls once and for all.
okay. Can't go there. Can I jump off here? Oh, it's just a ring. Lights. There's a bunch of colors here, man. Oh. Okay, there's a 5 key here. Am I gonna have to do like a... Okay. Awaiting input. System power.
And when at last he found the source of the room's power, he knew it was his duty, his obligation, to put an end to this Oh, Stanley, you didn't just activate the controls, did you?
I did.
After they kept you enslaved all these years, you go and you try to take control of the machine for yourself. Is that what you wanted? Control? Oh, Stanley, I applaud your effort, I really do. But you need to understand, there's only so much that machine can do. You were supposed to let it go, turn the controls off, and leave.
Couldn't
If
be
you want to
me.
throw my story off track, you're going to have to do much better than that. I'm afraid you don't have nearly the power you think you do. For example, and I believe you'll find this pertinent, Stanley suddenly realized he had just initiated the network's emergency detonation system. In the event that this machine is activated without proper DNA identification, nuclear detonators are set to explode, eliminating the entire complex. How long until detonation then? Let's say, 2 minutes. Now this is making things a little more fun, isn't it, Stanley? It's your time to shine. You are the star. It's your story now. Shape it to your heart's desires. Oh, this is much better than what I had in mind. What a shame we have so little time left to enjoy it. Mere moments until the bomb goes off. But what precious moments each one of them is. More time to talk about you, about me,
Okay.
where we're going, what all this means. I barely know where to start. What's that? You'd like to know where your co-workers are? A moment of solace before you're obliterated? All right, I'm in a good mood. You're gonna die anyway. I'll tell you exactly what happened to them. I erased them. I turned off the machine. I set you free. Of course, that was merely in this instance of the story. Sometimes when I tell it, I simply let you sit there in your office forever, pushing buttons endlessly and then dying alone.
Oh.
Other times, I let the office sink into the ground, swallowing everyone inside, or I let it burn to a crisp. I have to say this, though, this version of events has been rather amusing. Watching you try to make sense of everything and take back the control wrested away from you, it's quite rich. I almost hate to see it go. But I'm sure whatever I come up with on the next go-around will be even better. My goodness, only 34 seconds left. But I'm enjoying this so much. You know what? To hell with it. I'm going to put some extra time on the clock.
Okay.
Why not? These are precious additional seconds, Stanley. Time doesn't grow on trees. Oh dear me, what's the matter, Stanley? Is it that you have no idea where you're going or what you're supposed to be doing right now?
Maybe.
Or did you just assume when you saw that timer that something in this room was capable of turning it off? I mean, look at you. Running from button to button, screen to screen, clicking on every little thing in this room.
Not
these
even.
numbered buttons. No, these colored ones.
Nope.
Or maybe this big red button. Or this door. Everything, anything, something here will save me.
Nah.
Why would you think that, Stanley? That this video game can be beaten? Won? Solved? Do you have any
technically
idea
you said
what
I
your
won
purpose
earlier,
in this
so.
place is? Stanley, you're in for quite a disappointment. But here's a spoiler for you. That timer isn't a catalyst to keep the action moving along. It's just seconds ticking away to your death. You're only still playing instead of watching a cutscene because I want to watch you for every moment that you're powerless. To see you made humble. This is not a challenge. It's a tragedy. You wanted to control this world, that's fine. But I'm going to destroy it first, so you can't. Take a look at the clock, Stanley. That's 30 seconds you have left to struggle. 30 seconds until a big boom and then nothing. No ending here. Just you being blown to pieces.
Nice.
Will you cling desperately to your frail life? Or will you let it go peacefully? Another choice. Make it count. Or don't. It's all the same to me. All a part of the joke. And believe me, I will be laughing at every second of your inevitable life from the moment we fade in until the moment I say, happily ever up.
Did I win? I think I won. I think I won. Okay.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Input computer. There's a computer with inputs. No. Where is it? There was a computer with inputs on it. Fuck. I wanted to know what that thing did. Oh.
Oh. New content? What does that mean, new content?
New content. This is very Hitchhiker's Guide-esque.
Hello, and thank you for playing the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Yeah.
As you may know, the Stanley Parable was a video game released in 2013 on home computers. After receiving critical and commercial success, it was expanded upon in 2022 with the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, a reimagining of the game for consoles and home computers. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe features exciting new content that broadens and expands the world of the Stanley Parable, delighting audiences the world over.
More game.
Please, step inside and see what thrilling new adventures await in the Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe.
Oh, well, this sounds delightful. I'm very excited to see the thrilling new Ultra Deluxe content.
Was I supposed to go here?
Okay, so far it's an elevator. Nothing special yet, but I'm sure it's just the beginning of a mesmerizing adventure. Is it broken? What's going on here? Should we be moving somewhere or... Oh, there we go. All right, finally, at long last, it's on to the new content. I've never
think it's
been
this side
more
or that
ready.
side?
Let's do it.
I think it's this side. No. This side. No, this side.
I have to say, initial impressions of Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, mostly tedious. It's as if them... Oh, okay. Let's see the content.
Oh.
Give me the content, Stanley. All right. All right, let's see. It's the jump circle.
Oh, I like jumping. I can finally jump. I know. That's it? They get more jumps? That's it? Can I...
Is that it? Surely that's not all the new content. There has to be something else, right?
Okay. Oh, another elevator. With grass on the bottom.
Another elevator. Stanley, I have to say, initial impressions of this game are not positive. It's just elevators and jumping. Is this what passes for exciting new content? If this is new content, then I could just read you the whole dictionary. There's 20 hours of new content right there. Hell, I could counter 30 trillion. You could put that on the box. The Stanley Parable Ultra Deluxe, now with over 1,000 hours of new content. And oh, wait. There's more.
Okay.
Very good. Yes. I knew there had to be something else. Let's see it. I'm ready for whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's it?
That was pretty good
You've
content.
You've got to be kidding me. You see, Stanley? This is what happens when greedy video game developers with no respect for their fan base rush a cheap expansion to market for no reason other than to make an easy dollar. And don't get me started on the level of craftsmanship that's gone into it. In fact, I'm looking right now at the game's achievements, and it's hard to believe one of them actually says, "Test achievement, please ignore." What quality assurance department signed off on this? I'm infuriated and I'm offended, and I intend to
I
find
actually
these
only
people
got
on
2
Twitter
achievements
and
so
hold
far,
them
so...
personally accountable. It's my fault, Stanley. I built up too much anticipation around the new content, I'm afraid. It could never have lived up to such expectations. If you're still with me, why don't we just reset the game, and we'll try to get back to what the Stanley Parable is really about. No frills, no gimmicks. Just you and me having a great time together like always. What do you say, friend?
Oh. I was just gonna sit there, but... this ain't it, brother. Okay. That's where we used to be. Can I... Okay.
Psst. Stanley, come over here. In the vent. I want to show you something.
Well, that doesn't seem a little, Well... I guess I am a little curious what could be in this vent. Coffee nut and a screwdriver. Oh? Did I crawl for mama?
Okay, you remember how cheap and unsatisfying the new Ultra Deluxe content turned out to be? Well, it
Yeah.
got me thinking about the past and how much better the Stanley Parable used to be. So I made something special and tucked it away here where the game's developers won't find it.
Elden Ring?
Just our little secret. Take a look.
Oh,
I call
wow.
it the Memory Zone. It's where I've been storing all my favorite memories so I can relive the peak experiences of my life whenever I want. Experiences like the launch of the Stanley Parable on PC.
Yeah, Elden Ring was good, man.
You
Zone,
see,
Sweet
Stanley,
Zone.
doesn't the memory zone remind you of how wonderful Stanley Parable was before it was sullied with a cheap re-release? Remember back in October of 2013, when the game originally launched? Back then, video games had integrity. Back then, it
True.
all meant something.
True.
The waste.
A miscut dollar bill for some reason. Does that... This note is legal tender. Okay. Nominee. New video game releasing today. Rutgers goes from scandal to new crisis. Oh, 50% off designer hat. But a small creature owns the other half. College show uneven effort to enroll poor. Okay. It's a fun little thing here. Can I go? I can't even sit on the bench.
And over here is where I keep reviews of the Stanley Parable. Like this stunning triumph of games journalism, 10 out of 10 from Destructoid.com. James Stephanie Sterling writes, and I quote, "Where so many games that aspire to be more than games end up less than any form of art, Stanley Parable strives and then succeeds to be every game ever created." Did you hear that, Stanley? Every game ever created. That's how grand and all-encompassing the original Stanley Parable was. It was literally every game ever created.
Imagine
it was Skyrim. It was
reliable
Persona
games
3. It was all of them. And now, it's nothing. It's no games at all. It isn't even the Stanley Parable anymore. It's just a husk now.
Those
A
doorknobs don't
lifeless
look right.
husk with an hour of new elevator content.
I can't go to the memory zone maintenance.
Here's another moving passage, this time from GameSpot.com. The Stanley Parable is both a richly stimulating commentary on the nature of choice
That's
in
not what it
games,
says.
and one that offers some of the most enjoyable, surprising, and rewarding choices I've ever been confronted with in a game. 9 out of 10. Don't you get it, Stanley? The game was perfect. It didn't need anything else. It
Was
didn't
it?
need new content. It just needed to be left alone, to spend the rest of time collecting dust in the hallowed hall of beloved video game memories. These were simpler times, Stanley.
Ooh.
But I wouldn't give to go back to have it all over again. Wait, hang on. I don't recall this part of the memory zone before. What's this? What's down here? Oh, no.
Steam
God, no.
previews?
Stanley, it's a
Oh,
collection
Steam
of reviews
reviews.
from Steam, the online video game distributor. I haven't looked at these in years. I can't even imagine what's been collecting down here.
Can I go?
Surely these reviews were glowing as well, weren't they?
Can I go? Can I go?
Honestly, I could not be bothered to play this game to full completion. The narrator is obnoxious and unfunny, with his humor and dialogue proving to be more irritating than entertaining. Unfunny!
Classic
I'm not
Steam
trying to be
review.
funny. I'm trying to make a serious work of art. I suppose I could write up a handful of gags to insert into the Stanley Parable, but the game is already such a densely layered web of profound philosophical insights that I can't even imagine where I'd have the room to stick them.
Can I drive one of the forklifts? Can I do that? No?
Okay, let's see what this one says. While the idea for the game is good, for someone who prefers non-linear games, this preachiness gets annoying fast. Preachy? Stanley, I'm not preachy, am I?
A little
You can
bit.
Tell me if I'm preachy. Honestly, you can. Oh, goodness. This is actually quite shocking for me. Well, to be honest, I had always thought of the game's dialogue as being rather terse to begin with. You can't know how much fluff I cut from the game to get it to feel as light and airy as it... Well, I always thought it did. But maybe it wasn't. Oh dear. What an awful memory to have to hold on to. These black marks on my otherwise unimpeachable track record. I feel like a failure. Like
those
I let
birds?
these people down. Perhaps the Stanley parable isn't quite as sterling as I always remembered. What's this one got to say? You constantly have to stop doing anything so the narrator can catch up with his long-winded explanations of what's happening. I wish there was a skip button.
A skip button.
Well, well, yes. Yes, I think we can do that. If I'm truly too preachy, then maybe letting you skip ahead for just a moment, surely it couldn't hurt.
Oh, yeah.
What if it means we can strike these negative reviews from the record? Only positive
Cthulhu?
reviews of the Stanley parable. That's my motto today, and it's always been my motto. I'd do anything for the customer, Stanley. Yes, a skip button.
Wouldn't you
we
want that
shall
drainage
have.
a little lower?
And here it is. Go ahead and give it a shot. I'll pop you forward in time so that the second my incessant droning starts to bore you,
Okay,
with
so right
just
now
the
it's-
push of a button, you'll have zipped right past it. It's what the players have been asking for, and I'm very proud to have delivered. No more listening to me rambling on and on and
Does the
on.
clock
No,
actually work, though?
The Stanley Parable is a game for the people, and if the people want silence, then by goodness, that's what they're going to get. Well, don't sit around waiting for me to shut up. Go ahead and make me shut up. Here, we'll
It's
pretend that
still
I've just
102
begun
on
an
the
interminable
thing.
monologue, and it goes something like this. The story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so now you see, blah 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 blah. We've eaten too much and it can't be
The
just
clock
yet.
actually does
No,
work.
until 245. But the logic of elimination working backwards, the deduction therefore becomes impossible to manufacture. It went
thing.
on for nearly 10,000 years, until just
it does.
yesterday, here and there, forward and back, and never a moment before lunchtime. It can't be. It's the only thing there is. How many billions left until so much more than forever ago? Which is why I say, the story and the choices, or what have you, and therefore by becoming it is, so on and so forth, until inevitably we all until the end of time, at which time everything all at once, so now you see. Oh, you're back, you see. You were
It's
only
only like
frozen in time for
5
a few
minutes.
but it was plenty of time for me to deliver a long, rambling monologue full of unnecessary verbal flourishes and lengthy ruminations on the nature
There's
of
some
choice
back
in
here.
video games. Of course, I happen to believe it was perhaps one of my more profound such ruminations. Not that, of course, you need a description of it, but if I had to describe it, I'd say it was perhaps less of a rumination and more of a treatise. Or maybe a manifesto. Look, I'll outline it for you very briefly, and you can tell me what you think. Okay, so my theory is that any choice you've ever made is simply a series of choices made by the person who you are, or were, or will be at the time of having made said choice. That is to say, if by articulating a well there, sport. You really did catch me rambling on a bit, didn't you? But that's the power of the button. The minute I start to go off on a thoughtless
12
display of
minutes.
self-absorption, it's right at your fingertips to go poof, and it's all over. Oh, I can't wait to see what Cookie 9 will say about this, and whether they'll edit
Yeah,
the
fuck
rating
you,
of their
Cookie
Steam
9.
review, or at least change some of the wording, perhaps. To be honest, I don't even know if one can change their review in the first place. I guess I should become better educated on exactly how Steam works. Okay, welcome back, Stanley. Now, I should say that the amount of time the button has been skipping through is becoming longer and longer. That last one was, well, I want to say maybe 30, 45 minutes? It's not
45 minutes
unendurable by
seems
any
about
means,
right.
but it's, well, there's really
Maybe
only
a
so
little
much I can
more.
ramble on to myself about. I know, it's shocking, isn't it? But at any
About
rate,
like 50.
I do suggest that we not press the button again. I
Okay.
think the skip button has been Stanley, please don't push the button again. It's been 12 hours. You've just been frozen there. I don't know why the skips are getting longer, but they're really,
Happens if I go
truly
again.
getting... Oh, Stanley, you're back.
Oh, the plant
You're
is
back.
dead.
Oh, my goodness. I have someone to talk to again. Stanley, I think it's been a week.
It's about to be another week.
I've been sitting here all that time.
Boop.
Oh, hello. It's you. You're here again. Welcome. I have had time to think about you and about us and about...
Too bad. Oh, the clock stopped working. Oh, somebody's got to change the batteries in that smoke detector.
But they didn't understand the game was never meant to be funny. It was meant to have a point. It was meant to speak to the human condition. But where are the jokes? Where are the jokes? They bemoaned, they screamed, they gnashed their teeth and said, entertain us. It wasn't enough.
Yep.
They had to leave a pathetic little thumbs down review and make all of their...
Womp, womp, womp. Yeah? No?
The end is never the end, 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 is never the end.
Pretty sick. No? Uh-oh. Got a little bit of water damage here. Well, the plant's fucking gone. Is that the time we left off on? Oh, now I can't see what time it was supposed to be. Oh, it's pretty. Is this the fern he was talking about earlier? Can I... What berries are those? Can I get... No, no. Oh, it's nighttime now. Very relaxing. Okay. Just a looped little sound of like a wraith or something. Oh, hey! Can I hit this again? Well, we can explore freely now. Which way should we go? We'll go this way. I wish there was a sprint button, but hey. Does it all just loop back, or... Oh. Is the narrator
All
gonna...
his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh, that input fucking computer's gone now. Man. New content.
Oh, good. You notice my sign. Yes, I have something very exciting to show you.
Fuck. New content. Here we go. Ultra New Deluxe. Okay. Didn't it go left before? Just going straight into it. Did you make the elevator quicker?
You see, Stanley, I've been reflecting
No,
on
you
the
didn't.
Stanley Parable and about how roundly disappointing this ultra deluxe version has turned out to be. The original Stanley Parable was a landmark, and any new content for it should live up to that legacy. So forget this ultra deluxe nonsense. I say we take it one step even further.
Oh,
Which
okay.
is why I'm very proud to announce for the first time ever the Stanley Parable 2.
2. Okay.
Yes, you
We're
see,
number
isn't this far
427,
superior to a
not
measly re-release with a few minor additions?
247.
Think of all the new territory we'll cover with a fully fledged sequel. An entirely new experience, built from the ground up. Why, there are so many possibilities. It could go in so many different directions. This is what fans have truly been asking for.
I want this door. Give me this door. Little
Calling
casting
it the Stanley
couch.
Parable 2 is just so much catchier than Ultra Deluxe, don't you think? Ultra Deluxe? What does it even mean? But the Stanley Parable
Can I
2,
go that way?
now
Can I go
that's
this
an
way?
artistic statement right
Autistic?
there. It's future-oriented. It screams progress and innovation and long-term franchising potential.
Two
Now, to be
balls.
clear,
That's
I
what the
haven't
question
quite
mark
nailed
is.
down what exactly the Stanley Parable 2 is going to be.
Gang
But
signs.
Let's take a look at some of the features I've been developing for
Ooh,
it.
little red
I
carpet.
figure that if I can loosely organize a handful of interesting concepts, that surely the game will sort of naturally spring up around them. It'll all work itself out. Game development is much more of a fuzzy magic than anything scientific or logical, really. Here we are.
Ooh.
Go on, try out some of the new features.
Should we do the bucket one? Ooh, merch? Wait, what does it say? I can't even read what that says. Is there jumping? There's still no jumping. Please no screenshots. Should we do the bucket? Or should we do collectibles? Or there's the exit. Exit's on. Oh, the jump circle.
You know what? Let's bring the jump circle back for Stanley Parable 2 as well. It's a... Oh, wait. You already spent all your jumps the first time we saw the jump circle?
Yep.
Oh, well. I suppose it can just be a nice decorative piece, then.
Oh, you're not gonna give me extra jumps? 3 new easy achievement? I wanna know what the infinite hole's about. Is this gonna close behind me? Please no screenshots. I anywhere there's a door, I don't feel comfortable. Cause then well, what's the exit? Well, I want the achievement too. We do the achievement. Sounds good.
Now, here's something special. You remember that broken test achievement that got left in the game on accident? Well, I'm developing a technology to simply give you the achievement. Yes.
Oh,
You
yes.
see, you'll okay, perhaps I should have clarified. This is technology that will exist. Right now, the achievement is still fully broken. I'm not a wizard, Stanley, but I guarantee it will be fixed in the sequel to at last satisfy the hordes of ravenous fans all over the world
Just
who
pull
will
the
be
lever a little more.
uproariously demanding this feature. Gamers, we hear you, and I promise it will happen.
I want it. Give it. Give me the fucking achievement. Give it. Man. I wanted my free achievement. What's this? What's this over here? It's nothing. Okay, never mind. Okay. Well, if the doors don't close behind me, then I can do this one, right?
What other exhibits haven't we seen yet?
Well, I'll do... Oh, you added music.
Stanley, here's an idea that I'm truly fond of. It's never been done before in a video game. This is, in fact, a hole that you can fall down forever. That's right. Infinite falling.
Ooh.
You can fall until the end of time, if you like. A stunning leap forward for video games as a medium. You see, isn't it wonderful? One of my more ingenious concoctions, if I do say so.
It's pretty clever.
Now then, since you've gotten to see the infinite
Whee!
hole, you can press the teleport button to pop back up to the top, and we can continue onward.
Teleport?
Now, I don't mean to be a bummer, but I do recommend you use the teleport button to go back to the top.
Whee!
Maybe do it on the sooner rather than later spectrum of things.
No.
Okay,
No,
Stanley.
why would I
don't
wanna
know
do
quite
that?
how to say this tactfully, but it's possible that I slightly exaggerated the infinite.
Oh, so
nature
it's
of
not
the hole.
infinite.
Is it a very, very deep hole?
Just a deep hole,
It is. It's an extremely deep hole.
but not deep
I don't want
enough.
anyone to say that it isn't an astonishingly deep hole. It is. Is it infinite? Well, that sort of depends on your definition of infinity.
I see.
From one perspective, the infinite is merely philosophical in nature. It's more of a... Okay, well, good for you. You found the bottom of the hole. You found me out, Stanley. I'm a liar and a cheat, and you're
Meeting
so
at 2
clever.
p.m.
Look, I think the issue here is just that you're unusually fascinated by falling. What normal person actually wants to fall infinitely? I figured the hole was as
Just
deep
the
as
two of
anyone would
us. We can
actually
make it if we
need. Don't you
tried.
put
Just the
this on
two of
me.
us.
Maybe you're the problem.
Just the two of us.
Look, things got a little heated
Building
there. I think we
castles
both
in
said
the
some things we
sky.
didn't
Just
mean.
the two
Why
of
don't
us.
we just put all this
You
behind
and
us and
I.
agree to just call the hole
Na 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 na
Mystery
na na
Infinite?
na.
If that works for you, then go ahead and press the teleport button to warp up to the top of the hole, and we can move on.
Okay, that was
I'll just
G,
be up
right?
here when you're ready. Great.
Oh.
Now, I'm very excited to show. Oh, for heaven! You see, I was right. The problem is you.
Ooh,
The problem is that you like holes too much.
damn right I like holes.
A normal
Trying to fill 'em.
person would have said, yep, that's an infinite hole right there. Goes on forever till the end of time. Don't need to see it all, but not you. Oh, no, 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 no. You have a weird sort of... Oh. Did the hole seem even shorter to you?
I mean,
this
it definitely
time?
is.
I couldn't help but feel like you spent a little less time in there than you did before. I mean, admittedly, I didn't
Stanley
make an
Parable
infinite
figured out
hole.
black
I
holes
didn't think
before
it was
scientists.
That not infinite. Well, I suppose once again there's nothing to do here. If you decide you've had enough of the hole, you can hit the teleport button and come join me up above.
All
Had
right.
enough? I'm
No,
positively
I want your
thrilled.
hole.
Gosh, how could I have guessed?
Give me your
You're back in
hole.
the hole. If this starts to become a thing where... Wow. Okay. Yes. I'm starting to become extremely certain that the hole is not only not infinite, but that it's growing steadily less and less infinite. I suspect that I'm starting to hit the point where it's no longer feasible to call the hole infinitely deep, even by the lax overall standards for accountability and marketing. What's going on here? Stanley, I have no explanation for the uncertain nature of the hole's length. Here, let's try something. Let's pop back up to the top, and we'll see if it gets any shorter.
Now I don't
There
feel like
is.
doing it.
The shame of my lie has come to haunt me. How is this still appealing to you? I know you're obsessed with holes, but at this depth, I just can't see this scratching the itch.
Do I still have to teleport for
Who
this?
am I to judge?
Is it
You
gonna get-
just do whatever it is you're here to do and hit the teleport button when you're ready to move on.
Uh-oh.
Is the, teleport button not working?
Uh-oh.
You sure?
Uh,
Well, I mean, I really don't have an explanation. It was still nothing. Well, I suppose there is one thing I can do to fix this. I'm out. Goodbye, Stanley.
Bye.
You couldn't bear to be away from the hole, and now you'll get more time with it than you could ever have asked for. It's
Okay.
a win for everyone. You get to be with the hole.
A win.
I get to do literally anything else.
2 wins.
Take care, Stanley. I hope you and the hole have a wonderful rest of eternity together.
Okay. Me in the hole. What's with this music? Me in my hole. Should I not have jumped in? Wait! No, 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 no. What? Uh-oh. Is this gonna go on infinite? Oh. Wait. Wait. I wanted to see everything else. Oh, fuck. Is there gonna be a door down here? That'd be pretty cool. F? Oh. Oh, I can't rapidly click it. Yeah. Oh, we're in the deep. Got purple, blue. Some colors. Oh, I like this. The Twin Towers? I can't even tell what that is. Oh my god. Puppies.
Stanley! Stanley! Oh, good, you're awake. It seems you had sort of dozed off there, drifting away into dreamland.
Yep.
But we can't have that, Stanley, because this hole is just so darn fascinating that I want you to be wide awake for every second of it. You don't want to miss a single moment.
Yeah.
So how about if I just pop in from time to time and wake you up to keep you really, truly focused on the hole?
Sounds like a plan,
From the
man.
looks of things, you and I will have many, many years here in this hole, and I'm
Oh,
looking
yeah.
forward to all of them. Stay alert, Stanley. I'll be back. Toodlepip.
Okay, bye-bye. Oh, wait, I'm dozing off. I can hear it in the music change. Oh. Man, I was enjoying that whole... Oh, hey.
Here we are. Go on, try out some of the new features.
I'll look in here. Oh, yeah, the
A
piss
common
bucket.
complaint of the Stanley parable was that it was
No.
confusing and paradoxical, that it engendered a chaotic sense of reckless despair in those who played it. Well, I'm happy to say that after much consideration,
Where's the bucket,
I've
dude?
engineered a clever solution to this fundamental problem with the game.
The
It's
bucket
the
ain't there,
Stanley
brother.
Parable Reassurance Bucket. You see, Stanley, anytime you're holding the bucket, a sense of calm and ease will fill your mind and your heart. It's true. As long as you hold on to the bucket, the many disorienting contradictions of the Stanley parable will feel perfectly normal and perhaps even comforting.
Remove the glass.
You may even come to long for the gentle embrace of jarring cognitive dissonance while the bucket is in your arms. And to be honest, it's a much more convenient solution for me than actually redesigning the game to be less uncomfortable. Can you imagine what a pain in the ass that would be? Yes, the bucket is the perfect solution. Come on, give it a try.
Oh, I love the bucket. I hate the bucket. I don't
Can
like
you
it.
feel it? The glow of comfort, even in the face of crushing despair, must already be sweeping through your body. And in fact, can I say that I do believe the bucket
Nah, you can
lends
put
you
it
an
back.
air of charisma as well? I think that just holding it has made you the slightest bit more attractive as a person.
Oh,
The benefits of the bucket seem to go on and on.
Surgeon, you need one of these.
All this and more await you in the Stanley Parable 2.
2. What am... Oh. I can take it with me?
Does anyone give out awards for most enjoyable bucket in a video game? That really should be an award if it
I want
isn't
this
already.
one. The button that says the name of the player that is playing the game. Here's your name in the game.
For the Stanley
Do you
Parable
think it'll get it
2,
right?
I asked myself, what do players really want? And of course, the first and most obvious answer is that they want to be individually recognized and validated as people. So with that in mind, my first addition to the game is this button which speaks the name of the person playing the game.
Yeah.
Isn't that wonderful?
I like that.
Sorry, I should have clarified. Right now, the button only says the name Jim. But of course, in the final game, this button will say your name, whatever name that is. Here, let's have you role-play as Jim to really simulate the full experience of this feature. Just play along. I promise you'll love it. Okay, here we go. Let's take a deep breath, clear your
It's
mind, forget whoever
kinda
you
close,
are,
I
and
guess.
simply become a person named Jim.
I mean, it starts to...
Whoa,
Yeah.
hold on. I wasn't finished setting up the backstory.
Oh.
If you don't properly roleplay as Jim, then you'll never understand the impact of this button. Otherwise,
I'm
it's just a stupid
Jim.
button that says somebody else's name. Okay, we're doing it again, and this time let me finish first.
That's what he said. Or
Now,
she said.
allow yourself to become Jim. All right, fine, whatever. It's just a
Jim.
meaningless button that says Jim. Are you happy now? Get out of here. I'm
Okay.
done with this button. Why don't
Okay.
you go humiliate me in front of a different feature that I worked very hard on?
Okay. This bucket hasn't really done... Is the bucket supposed to do something?
Maybe I'll only let people named Jim play the Stanley Parable 2. They would appreciate what I've created here.
So I just have this bucket now? Okay, we did the infinite hole, so the exit next. Can you find them all?
Collectibles. Now it's a real video game. In the Stanley Parable 2, you'll run around gathering up these miniature Stanley figurines. And what's truly innovative is that there will be no reward for collecting all of them. I don't want to stifle the intrinsic joy of watching a number go up.
That's fantastic.
You simply collect all of them, and then you move the hell on with your unremarkable life.
Yeah. All right. I like it. So that's it.
God, it really is the worst when you collect everything in a video game and then they give you a big fancy reward for it. Absolutely tragic.
We already did the jump circle and stuff, so. Jim Beam.
All right, have you seen everything
Yeah.
you wanted to? Ready to move on now?
Someone's suitcase purse satchel thing. That's actually a pretty cool art design there.
So, Stanley,
Did I just
what
grab
do
a
you
seat?
think? Do you like all of the new features? Yes, I know it's not exactly clear yet how exactly these features will come together as one single coherent video game, but I can feel it in my soul. It's going to work. There's definitely a good game in there somewhere. Say, let's do an experiment. I'll arrange these new features together, and we'll see whether or not it coheres into a meaningful gameplay experience.
Okay.
Okay. Are you ready?
Mm-hmm.
Here it is. I give you the Stanley Parable 2. I mean, there's potential here, right? It's
How do I get down there?
Okay, never mind. Hold on. Let me do a different arrangement.
No, the collectibles.
Yes, this is much better. I feel good about this. Here we go. Version 2.
2.
Who am I kidding, Stanley? This
Those
isn't
buckets.
a coherent video game at all. It's a lot of gags. And I do very much enjoy creating gags, but they don't add up to anything. I wanted more than anything to create a sequel that would capture all the magic of the first game. I wanted fans to love it. No matter how good these gags are, they won't stand on their own. They would need the structure and the gameplay of the original. Wait,
Makes
maybe
sense.
that's it. I can take the original Stanley Parable and simply, well, insert a few of my new features into it. Tastefully, of course. With respect. With care for the vision and integrity of the original game. Would it possibly work? I suppose it could. But it would need a really, really tremendous title screen. A title screen that says with bold and uncompromising conviction, "This is the Stanley Parable 2.
2.
Let me see if I can whip something up. All right, perfect. Go ahead. Take a look.
Oh, wait. Do I get the bucket still? Do I keep the bucket? Can I keep the bucket?
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
They actually added a skip feature.
Stanley worked for a company in a big building where he was employee number 427. Employee number 427's job was simple. He sat at his desk in room 427 and he pushed buttons on a keyboard. Orders came to him through a monitor on his desk, telling him what buttons to push, how long to push them, and in what order. This is what employee 427 did every day of every month of every year. And although others might have considered it soul-rending, Stanley relished every moment that the orders came in, as though he had been made exactly for this job. And Stanley was happy. And then one day, something very peculiar happened. Something that would forever change Stanley.
It happened
Something he would
again.
never quite forget. He had been at his desk for nearly an hour when he realized that not one single order had arrived on the monitor for him to follow. No one had showed up to give him instructions, call a meeting, or even say hi. Never in all his years at the company had this happened, this complete isolation. Something was very clearly wrong. Shocked, frozen solid, Stanley found himself unable to move for the longest time. But as he came to his wits and regained his senses, he got up from his desk
No,
and
I don't
stepped
get
out
the
of his
bucket.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Oh. What? Oh, the
Stanley
bucket.
picked up the bucket.
I got the bucket back. Okay.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had felt the bucket calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Damn right.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct? Was this better than the meeting room? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back, and so the two of them detoured through the maintenance section and walked straight ahead to the opposite door.
Okay. Wait, the
Still
broom
no one was
closet.
here. Stanley needed the bucket's warmth and comfort now more than ever. Perhaps his boss's office was where he'd find answers. Oh, Stanley, can you feel it? The broom closet. It wants the bucket. You can feel that, can't you? The aura of jealousy. It's as clear as day. This broom closet believes it deserves the bucket.
You can't have my
I can
bucket.
really feel it now. It's a bucket. Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
Alright, there's still the bathroom. Did this room change at all? Oh, we'll never know.
Stepping into his manager's
2845,
office,
right?
Stanley was once again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed by the weight of... But Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
A collectible.
You found one of them. One of the miniature Stanley figurines. Remember, no reward for collecting all of these, only the intrinsic pleasure of a job well done.
Damn
you
right.
can't buy that sort of happiness, Stanley. God knows I've tried. So, I implore you to savor each and every moment you come across one of these beautiful figurines.
Would have been cool if they put it back there, but I understand that they do want you to find them. Was it him laughing and not the bucket? I thought it was the bucket
raced
that laughed,
downward,
but
plummeting
guess that was
towards an
him.
unknown fate. It would be all Stanley could do to keep himself together, if not for the bucket. Soothing him, comforting him, reassuring that in this darkest moment of uncertainty, he would be all right. The bucket is here for you, Stanley. Everything will be fine.
bucket.
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through
Is there
the
a
large
collectible
door
here?
that read
No.
Mind Control Facility.
Should we turn it off this time? I mean, that makes most sense, right?
The lights rose on an enormous room packed
At least
with
this time I can
television
see what
screens.
427
What
is this
horrible
time.
secret did this place hold? Stanley and the bucket both wondered to themselves.
Come, bucket.
The monitors jumped to life, and Stanley nearly dropped
Four-
the bucket in shock. Everyone in the office was
27.
being videotaped, monitored like guinea pigs.
It's just a picture of the office.
Bucket had never seen anything like this, and it
Classic
very
Bucket.
nearly burst into tears as Stanley cradled it gently,
Okay.
reassuring it that everything would be fine.
Uh-huh.
Was
Can I
the
go?
bucket under the mind control facility's influence as well? Had
Oh
the
my
bucket been
goodness.
told to do things it didn't wish to do? What kinds of things does a bucket want to do or not want to do in the first place? These questions raced furiously in Stanley's feeble mind. No! He screamed into the bucket. He couldn't accept it. His own life in someone
So there's
else's
only two
control.
people fired.
Never! He squeezed the bucket tighter.
Two
His
people
one
out of,
friend
like,
in
what,
the entire
600?
world. At this
Not
point,
bad.
he could trust no one except for the bucket.
Classic.
But here was the proof.
Okay.
The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions, happy or sad or content. Walking, eating, working, all of it
Me
monitored
and you,
and
we're
commanded from
shutting
this
this
very
thing
place.
off.
And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in,
Me and you,
Stanley
Bucket.
decided that this machine...
We beat the game. We did it.
Stanley and the bucket waited in blackness. Was it over?
Did we win? Did I win? Did I do it?
Yes, they had done it.
I did it.
Stanley and the bucket had defeated their greatest
Oh, we
and
did
darkest enemy, freed themselves from the tyrannical grip of the evil mind control machine. Freedom was now mere moments away. Excitedly, the two of them began to discuss the kind of life they wanted to live once they stepped through this massive door. The bucket wanted to learn to roller skate. Stanley wanted to sneeze in every country on Earth. Both of them wanted to begin watching a movie, any movie, but then stop it halfway through and begin watching it in reverse from the end. True, it was a simple life they envisioned, but it was one they'd lived together. with one another to lean on, to trust, to support, and...
Oh.
What? Wait. What was happening? Why had the door stopped?
Wow,
Was Stanley and the bucket not about to be freed?
There's
An
these
unbearable
mountains
silence
and
filled
it
the room,
looks like a
lingering
house
in
over there.
uncertainty. Until finally the truth hit Stanley square in the face. This building did not want the bucket to leave. Even the facility itself recognized the incredible calming presence of the bucket, needed the soothing warmth of the bucket, would go to any lengths not to part with the bucket. No, no, no. Stanley can't leave this place. Not while he has such a precious bucket in his arms. Not while this building has anything to say about it. Stanley realized he would never again leave this very room. But at least he has the bucket. To be trapped eternally in darkness isn't really so bad, Stanley thought to himself. As long as I have my bucket with me, right? I'll be okay, won't I? Stanley gulped. Very soon now, he was about to find out.
Find out what? What? Oh my goodness.
Wait, Stanley thought to himself. Am I sure that the orders stopped coming in? Stanley lifted the bucket into his arms, and a wave of comfort rushed over him.
guess we'll go
clutched
left.
the bucket tightly to his chest and entered the door on his left.
Oh, this is just the... Trust the completionist instinct. Nearby a fireplace. There's not one in here. It
Coming
said
to a
stairs,
staircase,
so
Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs.
maybe there's
to
one
the
down here.
boss's office.
Ah,
Another miniature Stanley figurine. This, you know, there really must be a snappier name for these things. What about mini stands? Stanley
mini
things.
stands.
What about Stanlerines? Yes, I think I like that. Another Stanlerine under your belt.
Stanlerine.
But Stanley just couldn't do it. He considered the possibility of facing his boss, admitting he had left his post during work hours. He might be fined for that. And in such a competitive economy, why had he taken that risk? All because he believed everyone had vanished.
I don't want to redo that all that dialogue.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. The confusion and the chaos all seemed to melt away as Stanley embraced the bucket.
Bucket. Something with red and blue was the other one?
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, but Stanley had
So maybe
felt the
there's
bucket
one-
calling to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be. And here it was.
Straight
Had
ahead.
the bucket turned out to be correct? No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
Okay.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yeah, good.
Said the bucket.
Now ride the lift all the way to
No.
the top. There's something...
No.
But
There's a-
Stanley feared that any
there's a
path he
collectible
walked
over there.
might lead to the separation of himself and the bucket, his dearest friend.
No, I
so
want
he
the
threw
collectible.
himself to his death, that they might die in one another's arms. How deeply touching.
Okay. The collectibles.
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. Warmth spread through Stanley's arms. With the bucket in his arms again, he was home.
This isn't right.
Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest.
No,
and
this way.
entered. This was
This
not
way,
the
and then we
correct way
went.
to the meeting room. But Stanley
Yeah,
had felt
we
the
need to go
bucket calling
straight.
to him, telling him that the employee lounge was simply the place to be.
Yeah.
And here it was. Had the bucket turned out to be correct?
There we go.
No, never mind. The bucket was wrong. Stanley took the door on his left to go back to the meeting room.
No,
Said the bucket.
don't go to the meeting room. Go somewhere else. The cargo lift, yes. Go there. Go to the cargo lift.
I don't want the cargo lift. I
Okay,
want...
I'm going back to the name of these little Stanley figurines, and now I'm torn between Stanlerines and Figlies. What do you think, Stanley? What name better encapsulates the intrinsic sense of happiness that you get from
Stanlerines,
seeing a small
100%.
number in the corner of your screen go up by
100%.
1? Let me sit on it. I'm sure it will come to me.
You want to sit on the figurine? Do I just... Do I just jump? Oh! What's that? Interesting. Okay.
Okay, this is day number 295, tape number... I don't even know. I've lost track. Nothing feels real anymore. The longer I study this bucket, the less sense anything makes. The sheer euphoria I feel every time I pick it up. No matter how many times I've done it, it's always the same feeling.
Is it an SCP? What the fuck is
Emptiness
this?
in my chest when I set it down. It doesn't make sense. There's no explanation for it. I still haven't figured out why I see the world so differently when this bucket is in my arms. Why everything feels so... What do I do with this treasure? I can monetize it. Yes. It's unthinkable the amounts of money people will pay for even just an hour with the bucket. This is my golden ticket. But I have to be careful, because as soon as this gets out, there's going to be a target on my back. Even now, I don't know who might be trying to get me. What's that? Who's there?
They want the bucket. Gambarata. Is that an Indian dish? Okay. Was there more past that? Oh.
Stanley knew the office layout like the back of his hand. It was only a matter of time before he found the others.
Give me that
Stanley
fucking
picked up the
bucket.
bucket and smiled. He'd never be alone again, not truly alone, not with the bucket around. Stanley clutched the bucket tightly to his chest
Smell
and
like
entered
red
the
and
door
blue
on his
though.
left.
I don't. A private but smelly place for an important person. So the bathroom. I don't know where there's red and blue though.
Coming to a staircase, Stanley and the bucket walked upstairs to the boss's office.
The bathroom. Yeah.
You're getting close now, Stanley. You've nearly gotten all of the Figler anlarines. Very soon, you'll collect the last one, and then the first number will equal the second number, and that will be it. We'll be different people by then. Different in the sense that we used
We've
to have
all grown.
none of them, and now we have them all. You can't go back to when you had no Figler anlarines. None of us can.
Okay. Was there something to do here? Red and blue.
Stepping into his manager's office, Stanley
don't
was
know,
once
dude.
again stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Crushed, but Stanley guessed the correct code by sheer luck. Was it that the bucket knew all along? Was the bucket guiding him? Yes, this is certainly the most logical explanation.
Yeah, where's the area with the red and blue door?
Stanley and the bucket walked straight ahead through the large door that read, Mind Control
Not this
Facility.
way.
Although this passageway had the word escape written on it, the truth was that at the end of this hall, Stanley and the bucket would both meet a violent death.
Not sure
The
exactly
door
where
behind them
the-
was not shut. Stanley and the bucket still had every opportunity to turn around and get back on track. At this point, Stanley and the bucket were knowingly walking forward into a very painful death for each of them.
I think it next to other door. Oh, you smart little cookie, you. Loading screen. Yeah, not this way. Yeah, this is just to get to an ending, I guess. So where's the red and blue door?
Someone was following Stanley. He was sure of it. If he checked over his shoulder now, he would surely catch them. It was only a matter of time.
No, I haven't had any time to do anything but edit lately, Max.
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it.
No, not this way.
It was okay.
But you
But
remember
eager
now.
to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
You have to jump off the moving platform that takes you to the ringing. You have to...
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't 5 years
Oh,
ago.
I see.
Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've
I didn't
gotten
even
off
think
on the
about
wrong
that.
foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult,
I
but the
see.
fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone... What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others? Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why?
Yes.
I don't know how to convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. And there it is.
We did it.
The last Stiggly Wiggly. Savor this moment, Stanley. This is a real accomplishment. This is doing something just for the sake of doing it. Where so many people expect to be rewarded for the most trivial achievements, you've insisted that a job well done is its own reward. I would tell you that I'm proud of you for collecting them all, but that would be like a reward and we can't have that. So, instead I'll just say, it's done. We're all done here. And now we can go to whatever the hell you were doing before you hunted for figurines.
Nice.
Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door.
I mean, I wanted to go through the red door anyways, so...
Oh, thank God you are willing to listen to me. Do you see that I really have wanted you to be happy all this time? The problem is all these choices. The two of us always trying to get somewhere that isn't here. Running and running and running, just the way you're doing right now. Don't you see that it's killing us, Stanley? I wanted to stop. We would both be so much happier if we just stopped.
Yep.
And I think I have a solution. Here, let me show you.
Okay.
What do we want? What are we looking for? Here. Yes.
Yay.
Oh, it's beautiful, isn't it? If we just stay right here, right in this moment with... No, wait. Where are you going? Oh, no. Stay away from those stairs. If you hurt yourself, if you die, the game will reset. We'll lose all of this. Please, no, Stanley, let me stay here. Don't take this from me. Please, Stanley, think about what you're doing. No! Oh, thank God. No. No, what are you doing, Stanley? Please, I'm asking you not to take this away from me.
I
can't
again.
go back to what I was before. If you die, we'll both go back. Why are you doing this? Stanley, let's go back to the other room. Can you do that for me? Yes.
Wait, I'm actually moving
Perhaps
a
you
lot
can.
slower now.
Perhaps you finally see what I'm talking about.
No.
My God, is this really how much you dislike my game? That you'll throw yourself from this platform over and over to be rid of it? You are literally willing to kill yourself to keep me from being happy. Am I reading the situation correctly?
Bye-bye.
Or maybe you're just getting a kick out of it. I don't know anymore.
I feel like I'm
I
moving
just wanted
slower.
us to get along. But I guess that was too much to ask. It looks like you wanted to make a choice after all. Well, this one is yours.
My choice. My choice.
Is it over? It's going to restart, isn't
Can I crawl now?
I'm going back.
Oh my God.
Stanley, I'm sorry, but I have to put a pause on things. It's those figurines. Those figglers. I haven't stopped thinking about them since you nabbed every last one. Wasn't it just the most intrinsically fulfilling moment of your entire life? Didn't it fill you to the brim with inner richness? Yes, I know we're supposed to be telling a story, but won't you please indulge me with one more trip back to the memory zone?
Oh yeah.
I would love nothing more than to revisit the figurines.
Yes.
Just one more time.
Now remembering when Stanley found the collectibles. Hank's just opened up the door. Give me a second. Hanky, what? Oh. Hank's my blue healer that just does not stop. What happened to the box? Oh.
Here's where it all began. The first collectible. Back then, we had no idea of how many of them we'd find. Sure, it said 6 right there on the screen, but how could we know for certain? We were so innocent. We'll never be like
7
that
out
again,
of 6.
Stanley.
That's the way.
And here
And there was
the
another
second
one.
Stanley. You found this one all on your own just by
Second
poking
one.
around behind the boss's office. You did that, Stanley.
I did.
I'll be honest. Back then, I had no faith in you to find any of them.
How long
let
is
alone
this game?
6. But you continue to surprise me in all sorts of mundane, unremarkable ways. Okay, let's do a little quiz. Which of these rooms was the room you found your third mini Stan? Can you remember?
This one? I think.
Hey, that's exactly right. It was here, under the stairs. It was the third one. You picked it up, and then after that, you had 3 of them. I'm glad these moments are so crystal clear in your memory, but I shouldn't be surprised. After all, science tells us that it's impossible to forget your third time doing anything.
I don't know about that one.
Let's see, what came next? Oh yes, we found a Figley in this pink room. Oh well, I can't actually say I remember being in this room, but it's here in the memory zone, so it must have happened.
And then
This was the 5th mini Stan, and this one was really something special. It was in the
Ding,
boss's
ding, ding.
bathroom. I remember it so clearly. In fact, because this one is particularly special to me, I made a little video to commemorate the occasion.
Ooh.
Enjoy.
let's see it. Oh man. Wow. ...2006 YouTube format, for real. Oh yeah, the old thanks for watching. Best boy, the narrator.
Takes you back, doesn't it? I spent a lot of time making that video, but it was 8 minutes I wouldn't have spent on anything else.
8 minutes. Honestly, that's probably about how long it took him to make it.
And then, Stanley, then we came to the last collectible, the final figurine, right here by the red and blue doors. This memory is the most distinct and clear in my mind, perhaps because it was the one that happened more recently than all the others. Who can truly say how the mind works? All I know is that this is the moment where you picked up a Figley and I thought to myself, yes, that's all of them. They're all
You have a good one,
collected.
Max.
It was a moment unlike
Will
any
do.
other. Except for the other moments picking up figurines, which it was exactly like.
This just goes into the same. Okay.
And then there was no more. Because we've caught up to the present moment. Nothing
did it.
left to
We
do
beat the
but
game.
move onward into the future. Goodbye, memory zone.
Fuck. It's not over yet.
No, I'm not done. I'm not ready to move on. Stop the loading screen. Isn't there some way we can stay here, keep enjoying these figurines? Let's just go backwards. We'll do the memory zone again from the opposite direction. See how that feels.
Figurines. Do I have to pick them up again?
Okay, yes. The room with the red and blue doors. I remember this. I must say, of all the figurines we looked at in our initial tour of the memory zone, this one is the most distinct and clear in my mind. Let's keep going. I want more.
About all the endings I still have to do.
And here's where I made that video. Don't you remember the video?
Oh, you're gonna
we
make me
watched?
watch it again. Okay. Thank you.
Yes, I love that video.
That was a good video. That was, in fact, a good video. What's here? Nothing.
Still don't remember the pink room, Stanley. Still no memory of this one. Good room, though. A solid room.
It do be a solid room.
These really were a treat to hunt down. You know, if there had been any kind of reward for finding all of these, it really would have neutered the intrinsic joy of collecting them. I'm very glad we resisted the temptation. Next one. This was our second Figley. Don't you remember? Yes, I remember it too.
I
The past
remember
is
it.
truly a wonderful thing. Why does anyone ever choose to leave it? Keep going.
All right.
This is it. The very first one we found in the exhibit where I introduced you to the Figlarines. Oh, I
Yes.
want more memories, Stanley. I want to keep going. What else
That's
is
too
there?
damn
What
bad.
came before this?
Fuck. Wait. This did. Oh, you won't let me go. Okay. The jump circle was not. I mean, technically it was
Look,
before
it's
this.
the terrible new content that we were originally sold on. I remember hating it back then, but time does put a rosy filter on everything. In fact, oh yes, the two doors! Who could have forgotten that? A classic memory, this one.
I wasted too long on this. It doesn't matter. Okay, kind of figured as much.
And before everything else, there was your office.
Yep, that
Is there anything
is
else?
true.
Was there something that came before your office? There's
The
something I
title
feel I
screen?
can remember. I can remember.
Oh dear God, it's gonna be the title screen.
Yes, I'm remembering something
Okay.
now. I remember before this whole story got started. Back then I was different. I used to make big decisions. I was passionate. I was skeptical. I weighed each decision with profound thoughtfulness. And then somewhere along the way, I stopped making decisions. I became lazy, and I came up with a character named Stanley to do my thinking for me. He would make the decisions. He would decide which way to go. I would cheer him on as he collected figurines for no reason. Why did I invent Stanley? Was I lonely? Yes, perhaps that's it. Perhaps I needed to imagine I had companionship. And Stanley really did make for a wonderful companion, even if he was a fiction. But I suppose it's grown old. I want to think for myself again. I want to go back to how it used to be. Yes,
Let's do it.
I can be on my own again. I can do it.
Unalive me.
I'll be stronger this time. I'll take care of myself. I don't need Stanley anymore.
Unmake me.
Oh, but he truly was so much fun to play with. You know what? Since we're in the memory zone, how about one more good memory? Let's go back just once and give Stanley one more run of the office, and then I'll retire him for good. I did enjoy telling his story so very much. Okay, here we go. This is the story of a man named Stanley. All of his co-workers were gone.
This is
What
a
could it
story
mean?
all about how my
Stanley
life
decided
got
to go
flipped,
to the
turned
meeting room.
upside down.
Perhaps he
and
had
now I'd
simply
like
missed
to
a
take a
memo.
minute to sit right there. I'll tell you how I became the prince of a place called Bel Air.
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, he
just-
entered the door on his left.
Yep, we'll just listen to him. Tell me what to do. Just
Yet there was not a single person here either.
It said to reboot the game, reboot it entirely. So, right? Right? So if I reboot the game entirely, right? Please tell me I don't have to restart. Please tell me I didn't just fuck up. I don't know why I'm doing this when the clocks don't actually match. Before we get started, can I just say something? Thank you for actually setting the clock both times you've booted up the game. A lot of people don't take that step seriously. They just leave the clock set to 12 and call it a day. But you're actually taking the time to set the clock, and I appreciate that. That's how I know that you care about this experience. You're paying attention. I don't even have any way of knowing if the times you're setting are correct. Tell you what, I'll make you a deal. Since you've been so cooperative, next time you boot up the game and see this screen, just set the clock to your favorite time. Go ahead, pick whichever time you want, even if it's not the correct time. You've earned it. Alright, I'll let you get back to the video game now.
This is the story of a man named Stanley.
Okay.
Stanley worked...
Oh, I can at least skip. Quit the game and then start it
co-workers
again.
were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, he entered the door on his left. Yet there was not a single person here either.
Okay.
Feeling a wave of disbelief, Stanley decided to go up to his boss's office, hoping he might find an answer there. Coming to a staircase, Stanley walked upstairs to his boss's office.
Yep. And then we went into the boss's office. Surgeon,
Stepping into his
man,
manager's
why you
office,
gotta fucking
Stanley was once again
spam it?
stunned to discover not an indication of any human life. Shocked, Stanley was in such a rush to get through the story as quickly as possible, he didn't even have a single minute to just let the narrator talk.
Fuck no.
That kind of anxiety isn't healthy, so he relaxed for a few moments with some calming New Age music.
Man. Feels more like a punishment. That's probably what this is, actually.
Feeling soothed and rejuvenated, Stanley calmly walked forward into the opened passageway.
Code 6969. Oh. I have to be close to the end.
Descending deeper into the building, Stanley realized he felt a bit peculiar. It was a stirring of emotion in his chest, as though he felt more free to think for himself, to question the nature of his job. Why did he feel this now, when for years it had never occurred to him? This question would not go unanswered for long. Stanley walked straight ahead through the large door that read Mind Control Facility.
This time I don't have the bucket, so...
The lights rose on an enormous room packed with television screens. What horrible secret did this place hold? Stanley thought to himself. Did he have the strength to find out? Now the monitors jumped to life, their true nature revealed. Each bore the number of an employee in the building, Stanley's co-workers.
It's us
the
right
lives
there.
of so many individuals reduced to images on a screen, and Stanley, one of them, eternally monitored in this place where freedom meant nothing.
Oh. Boop.
This mind control facility, it was too horrible to believe. It couldn't be true. Had Stanley really been under someone's control all this time? Was this the only reason he was happy with his boring job? That his emotions had been manipulated to accept it blindly?
The cum bucket.
No. He refused to believe it. He couldn't accept it. His
No
own
freedom.
life in someone else's control? Never. It was unthinkable. Wasn't it? Was it even possible? Had he truly spent his entire life utterly blind to the world?
All
Here
right.
was the proof. The heart of the operation. Controls labeled with emotions. Happy, or sad, or content. Walking, eating, working. All of it monitored and commanded from this very place. And as the cold reality of his past began to sink in, Stanley decided that this machinery would never again exert its terrible power over another human life.
There we go. Did I do it? Did I win? Is it over?
Blackness, and a rising chill of uncertainty. Was it over? Yes. He had won.
No,
He had
it's not
defeated
over.
the machine, unshackled himself from someone else's command.
It's not
Freedom
over.
was mere moments away. And yet, even as the immense door slowly opened, Stanley reflected on how many puzzles still lay unsolved. Where had his co-workers gone? How had he been freed from the machine's grasp? What other mysteries did this strange building hold? But as sunlight streamed into the chamber, he realized none of this mattered to him. For
It's
it
gonna
was
stop.
not knowledge or even power that he had been seeking, but happiness. Perhaps his goal had not been to understand, but to let go. No longer would anyone tell him where to go, what to do, or how to feel. Whatever life he lives, it will be his. And
Is it
that was
over?
all he needed to know. It was perhaps the only thing worth knowing. Stanley stepped through the open door. Stanley felt the cool breeze upon his skin, the feeling of liberation, the immense possibility of the new path before him. This was exactly the way, right now, that things were meant to happen. And Stanley was happy.
Complete the Stanley Parable. Alright. I did it. Why are you reloading again?
All of his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
What other ending could he possibly want? The blue door?
When Stanley came to a set of two open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. Ah, yes, truly a room worth admiring. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Weak?
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten. What? Really? I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others?
What's in this
Are
door?
you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how
Key
to
card.
convince you of this, but I really do want to help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance. Now listen carefully, this is important. Stanley walked through the red door. Aha, perhaps you misunderstood. Stanley walked through the red door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley walked... All right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me stop you. You see? There's nothing here. I haven't even finished building this section of the map, because you were never supposed to be here in the first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures.
Whoa.
Is this what you had wanted?
He doesn't even have
Was it
text
worth
for the
ruining the
walls.
entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing, because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange and unknowable desires of yours. What would have made this game better? What did you want to see? Vehicles? Skill trees? Work with me.
Oh my
You've
God.
given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what, let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Oh, of course. A 3. Really? Maybe next time we can get you to form an actual opinion, you know? Any level of critical thinking or engagement with your surroundings? Does that sound good? Think we can do that, yes?
Right in the middle.
Wonderful. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one. Let's take a look. Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please.
21.3% of players skip the intro sequence. Okay, it did not take me 7 hours, okay? I'm at 3 hours, 31 minutes, and 43 seconds. So what do I... So I just keep going this way? Oh. Oh. I think you accidentally closed the door on me, buddy. Buddy old pal. I think... Am I supposed to restart? I don't think the narrator likes me very much. Is that one ending? Or you know what? I'm gonna consider that an ending.
All his co-workers were gone. What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo.
Was that supposed to happen, or did I, like, actually break the game?
When Stanley came to a set of 2 open doors, this was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first.
Let's answer the
just to
phone,
admire
and
it.
then we
Wow.
did it. We got all the
Yes,
endings.
this room. But eager to get back to
No,
business,
there was an area you
Stanley
didn't
took
get
the
to.
first open door on his left.
No, we got the ending. That was the ending.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your enemy, really, I'm not. I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's
I'll
someone
do
you've
the
been
fucking
neglecting,
ending.
Stanley. What? Really?
Blue door.
I was in the middle of something. Do you have zero consideration for others?
Fine.
Are you that convinced that I want something bad to happen to you? Why, I don't know how to convince you of this, but I
We'll do
really
the
do
blue
want to
ending.
help you, to show you something beautiful. Look, let me prove it. Let me prove that I'm on your side. Give me a chance.
There we go.
Now listen
There we
carefully,
go.
this is
There we go.
important.
Let me go.
Stanley walked
Let me
through
go.
the red door.
Let me go. Let me go.
Aha, perhaps you misunderstood.
Nope,
Stanley
I
walked
didn't
through the
misunderstand
red
shit.
door. I still don't think we're communicating properly. Stanley, all right, fine, go ahead, Stanley. You want to know so badly what's out there? You want to find out what lies at the end of this road you've chosen? Well, don't let me.
Honestly, I have no
stop
clue
you.
why the game bugged
You
there.
see, there's nothing here. I haven't even finished building
Every
this
time I
section
play
of the
games,
map
dude.
because you were never
Every
supposed to
time
be
I
here
play
in the
games.
first place. Broken rooms, exposed developer textures. Is this what you had wanted? Was it worth ruining the entire story I had written out specifically for you? Do you not think I put a lot of time into that? Because I did. And in the end, it was all for nothing. Because this is what you wanted to see. Help me here, Stanley. Help elucidate these strange
Maybe
and
we'll give him
unknowable
a
desires of yours.
a
What
2
would have made this game
this
better?
time instead of
What
a
did
3.
you want to see? Vehicles?
Because Stanley
Skill
Parable 2,
trees?
right?
Work with me. You've given me absolutely nothing so far. Tell you what. Let me take a stab in the dark at a new design, and you can give me some feedback. There we go. A third option. This already feels leaps ahead of where we were before. Go ahead, Stanley. Take it for a spin. Okay, I'm going to stop you there. Now, tell me about your experience with this new version. Would you say that the game benefited from allowing you more choices? Feel free to be honest. I'm looking for some real critical feedback here. Oh, well, now this is useful. You didn't like it, but you didn't totally hate it either. You enjoyed it, perhaps is the correct term. It didn't cause you
much.
excruciating pain. Big steps we've made here today, Stanley. Here, based on the data from your previous playthrough, I've compiled a new version. And to be
Okay.
perfectly candid, I think I've knocked it out of the park with this one.
No, it's
Let's
still the
take a
sequel.
look.
Am I supposed to go through the orange door? Like,
Now, would you say that competitive leaderboard helped you feel motivated to keep walking through doors? Again, honest answers, please. Hey, I nearly forgot. I've got a prototype of a new game I've been working on, and now would be a lovely opportunity to give it some playtesting. You wouldn't mind taking a look at it, would you? Perfect.
No.
Let me boot
I
it
guess
up.
not.
In this game, the baby crawls left towards danger. You click the button to move him back to the right, and if he reaches the fire, you fail. It's a very meaningful game, all about the desperation and tedium of endlessly confronting the demands of family life. I think the art world will really take notice. But of course, the message of the game only becomes clear once you've been playing it for about 4 hours. So why don't you give it 4 hours of play to make sure it's effective? Be sure to keep notes on your experience. You heartless bastard. Did you do it because you hate babies or purely to spite me? Because if it's the latter, well, I don't know what to do. I'm completely out of ideas. I can't think of a single thing that might improve the experience for me. I'm not even going to try. I'm out. I'm done. It's over. Thank you for playing. Your input was extremely valuable.
You're
Oh,
welcome.
hey, since my game was so awful, why don't we play someone else's game? Just to ease the pain. Let's see. What do we have here? Yes, this seems like it'll work. Let's give it a shot.
Is he gonna be Gmod?
Aha! Fascinating.
Yo.
What do you think this game is about, Stanley? What's our backstory? What is our motivation?
Is this
But it
the
seems
actual...
obvious to me that you are meant to play as a creepy man spying on innocent civilians below you from up high in your creep tower, perhaps for some sort of twisted erotic purpose. Yes, that must be it. What a fascinating venture into the experience of total mental depravity. So far, I love everything about this game, Stanley.
Is,
and it
was
seems there's
it
even more. Come,
Firewatch
let's
or
venture
something?
outward and
Some
see
shit?
what else is out
I don't
there.
even fucking remember.
Oh, no. No, it can't be. It
What is
is.
this sign?
It's an open world game. Good God, quickly block it off. Oh. Thank goodness, Stanley. What a close call. You nearly wandered off into that thing. That big, open, just wandering around. No right or wrong directions. No path to follow. You can just go in any... Oh, thank heavens we avoided it. We're out of the woods now, Stanley. Okay, I'm going to get us out of here. Let's find another game. Preferably something with walls. Something with nice, big, insurmountable walls. Okay, I think this will be just the thing.
I didn't think it would actually... Rocket
Wonderful.
League?
See, this is exactly what I had in mind. Just a nice big box for you to run around in. There isn't any possibility that you could get lost here. Now this is game design. Stanley, if you manage to get lost in this game, I will be phenomenally impressed.
It's actually Rocket League.
Okay, so what exactly do we do here? Let's see. There are lots of cars here in the back, but obviously there's no racetrack. Okay, I'm seeing that there's a ball of some kind back here. Is this game sports ball? Stanley, I think it's sports ball. Oh, what fun. We shall run the bases and do a touchdown together.
A touchdown,
I think
yes,
surely we
yes.
must. Okay, Stanley, here's the ball. Have fun.
Should we be on orange or blue?
Are you doing it? Are you winning? Is this fun? Is it better than my miserable little story that I worked so hard on? Stanley, I have a thought, and I realize I'm not a sportsologist,
Oops.
but if one ball generates a certain amount of raw adrenal pleasure, then surely multiple balls makes for an even more euphoric sports experience. I'm going to try it out. Here comes another ball.
I'm gonna jump off.
Hold on. What are you doing?
Stanley, don't do that. I can't follow you there. I can't help you. How will you write a story without me? You can't do it. You know that. Stanley, come back.
Oh. Oops. Is this from the original?
I wonder what he found. If what he wanted was to be the leading man in his own story, well, perhaps he's gotten it. Down in wherever he is right now. I wonder if he's happy with his choice, and if he's learned the heavy cost that comes with it.
In the original
He'll
Stanley
understand
Parable, he
soon what I
puts you
was
in
trying to tell him.
Minecraft.
He needs me. Someone who will wrap everything up at the end to make sense out of the chaos and the fear and the confusion. That's who I am. That is what I mean to this world. Oh, yes. Yes, I'll be back. There's no other way. Once this ends, after it all comes to a close, then I'll be back. The end will be here soon. Very soon.
It's a horror game.
I can wait.
Load it up. Come on. I know you want to, narrator. Yep. Right, the phone ending, which should
All
be
his
one of the
co-workers
easier
were
ones,
gone.
right?
What could it mean? Stanley decided to go to the meeting room. Perhaps he had simply missed a memo. When Stanley came to a set of 2 open... This was not the correct way to the meeting room, and Stanley knew it perfectly well. Perhaps he wanted to stop by the employee lounge first, just to admire it. The lounge was sublime, a work of art. But eager to get back to business, Stanley took the first open door on his left.
Shut up, door.
Stanley was so bad at following directions, it's incredible he wasn't fired years ago. Look, Stanley, I think perhaps we've gotten off on the wrong foot here. I'm not your
Alright, just the
enemy,
last
really.
ending now.
I realize that investing your trust in someone else can be difficult, but the fact is that the story has been about nothing but you all this time. There's someone you've been neglecting, Stanley. Someone you've forgotten about. Please, stop trying to make every decision by yourself. Now, I'm not asking for me, I'm asking for her. This is it, Stanley. Your chance to redeem yourself, to put your work aside, to let her back into your life. She's been waiting. That's her, Stanley.
Who is it?
Oh, Stanley, is that you? Hold on, sweetie. Sorry to keep you waiting. I'm just pulling the bread out of the oven. All right. Okay, there we go. All right, now, I want you to come in and tell me all about your day.
Gotcha! Oh, come on. Did you actually think you had a loving wife who'd want to commit their life to you? I'm trying to make a point here,
Damn.
Stanley. I'm trying to get you to see something. Come inside. Let me show you what's really going on here. Sorry, but you're in my story now.
Kinky. This is it?
This
I'm
is
about
a
to get
very
murdered
sad
by this
story about
mannequin.
the death of a man named Stanley. Stanley is quite a boring fellow. He has a job that demands nothing of him, and every button that he pushes is a reminder of the inconsequential nature of his existence.
It's gonna make us press buttons just like the real Stanley. Do I have to, though? Can't I just,
Look at him there, pushing buttons, doing exactly what he's told to do.
What are the chances
Now
his
he's
apartment
pushing
number is the
a
same
button.
as his desk
Now
number? For
he's
real.
eating lunch.
Yeah.
Now he's going home. Now he's coming back to work. One might even feel sorry for him, except that he's chosen this life. But in his mind, in his mind he can go on fantastic adventures. From behind his desk, Stanley dreamed of wild expeditions into the unknown, fantastic discoveries of new lands. It was wonderful, and each day that he returned to work was a reminder that none of it would ever happen to him. And so he began to fantasize about his own job. First, he imagined that one day while at work, he stepped up from his desk to realize that all of his co-workers, his boss, everyone in the building had suddenly vanished off the face of the earth. The thought excited him terribly.
L to spend time with the boys.
So he went further. He imagined that he came to 2 open doors and that he could go through either. At last, choice. It barely even mattered what lay behind each door. The mere thought that his decisions would mean something was almost too wonderful to behold. As he wandered through this fantasy world, he began to fill it with many possible paths and destinations.
Will you be my
Down one
office
path
chair?
lay an
What will
enormous
you be?
round room with monitors and mind controls. And down another was a yellow line that weaved in many directions. And down another was a game with a baby. And he called it the Stanley Parable. It was such a wonderful fantasy, and so in his head he relived it again, and then again, and again, over and over, wishing beyond hope that it would never end, that he might always feel this free. Surely there's an answer down some new path, mustn't there be? Perhaps if he played just one more time.
One more time.
But there is no answer.
Oh,
how could there
she
possibly
is the
be?
desk.
In
I see.
reality, all he's doing is pushing the same buttons he always has. Nothing has changed. The longer he spends here, the more invested he gets. The more he forgets
Fifth
which
annual
life is the real one.
subcommittee meeting of internal revenue analysis for committees of the Royal Revenue Discussions Club. The committee hereby proposes the following: 1, that all internal revenues be reviewed exclusively by internal members. That's what it actually says. Of royally appointed subcommittee. That human beings accepting the members of the 5th annual subcommittee meeting internal review analysis for committees of the Royal Revenue Discussion Club smell. Dude, I am so wasted right now. Hereby, the following members approve this statement.
And I'm trying to tell him this, that in this world he can never be anything but an observer, that as long as he remains here, he's slowly killing himself. But he won't listen to me. He won't stop. Here, watch this. Stanley, the next time the screen asks you to push a button, do not do it.
I mean, either way, I'm doing what I'm told, whether I press the button or not. Yeah, I noticed there were 5 inputs that needed to happen on the computer. For what ending exactly? For
You
this?
see? Can he just not hear me? How can I tell him in a way that he'll understand that every second he remains here, he's
I think I
electing to
noticed that
kill himself?
computer input thing
How can I
too
get him to
late.
see what I see? How can I make him look at himself? I suppose I can't, not in the way I want him to. But I don't make the rules. I simply play to my intended purpose, the same as Stanley. We're not so different, I suppose. I'll try once more to convey all this to him. I'm compelled to. I must. Perhaps, well, maybe this time he'll see. Maybe this time. And I tried again.
Oh,
Stanley
yes.
pushed a button. And I tried again. And Stanley pushed a button. And I tried.
Did it work? Am I dead? Please don't make me restart this thing. Alright, well, you know what? That was Stanley Parable, the Ultra Deluxe version.
Hello. This is a recorded message scheduled either by you or a person in your place of work. The purpose of this message is to warn you about the dangers of recorded messages. If at any time you believe you are listening to a recorded message, please terminate it immediately and cease all flow of information from the recorded message into your perceptual sphere. Thank you, and have a pleasant day.
Okay, well, that was Stanley Parable. If you enjoyed this, leave a like, comment, sub. Yeah. I think I did pretty much all the endings except for that one 5-input thing. But by the time I noticed it, it was too late, so I couldn't do that one. But it's all the endings. Damn, that was draining. Just shy of 4 hours. I'm not going to do all the endings. Thank you guys for watching. Bye-bye. How do I do this? I think it's that one. Yeah, there we go.